MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
DIRTVision would like to thank our friends at Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts for helping us get from track to track. Fast One Speed Shop is your destination for the parts you desire. If you've ever craved dealer-type pricing on most major brands without hefty buy-ins, now's your opportunity. Whether you're into circle track, drag, street, repair shops, hot rods, or more, we've got you covered for just $99.99 a month. The Fast One Parts VIP Club is unmatched, so start saving hundreds or thousands by joining the VIP Club today. Visit us online at fast1speedshop.com or fast1parts.com.
This is a special presentation of DIRTVision, bringing you the pinnacle of dirt track racing. Led by World of Outlaws sprints and late models. We also have the Super Dirt Car Series, Extreme Outlaw Midgets, American Sprint Car Series, and Dirt Car Summer Nationals. Plus, weekly racing and special events at America's premier racetracks. The best drivers, the best coverage. DIRTVision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
For 24 season, the World of Outlaw Late Models has brought you star-studded drivers, thrilling races, and memorable championships. And here tonight, we kick off the 25th season at the world's fastest half-mile Volusia Speedway Park with night #1 of the Dirt Cars Sunshine Nationals. Welcome in everybody to the World of Outlaw Late Models presented by DIRTVision. My name is Ashton Smythe, and I got you covered with everything happening down on the grounds here this evening. And I'll be joined up in the booth in just a little bit by the voice of the World of Outlaw Late Models, Ruben Morales. And whether you're joining us here in beautiful Florida or watching at home on DIRTVision, thank you so much for spending your Thursday evening with us. And what an absolutely beautiful day that it is. Low 70 degrees right now, a little bit of wind blowing through the area. As you can see, slight chance of rain, only about 9%. Don't even worry about it. A few clouds in the sky to cover that sun just a little bit here and there. And we're looking forward to a great night of racing. Not only a great night, a great season ahead of us as we kick off the 2026 season with the World of Outlaw late models. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into what you have to look forward to here this season. 61 races on the schedule. That'll bring us to 37 different racetracks across 19 different states, and 16 drivers signed full-time to tackle the Outlaws here this season, including 4 rookies this year, 3 of them coming from the Southeast, to Florida native drivers themselves, Trey Mills and Eli Johnson, as well as a North Carolina driver, Dalton Wilson, and then Logan Zarin from Pennsylvania also joining us here this season. Record payouts, as always, $4.9 million purse awarded throughout the season, as well as a $1.1 million purse at the end of the season for the championship. But new this year, each event will pay a minimum of 2,000 drivers to finish within the top 10 with the Outlaws here this season. But this is not the only new things shaking up the Outlaws, and especially as we roll through here at Volusia Speedway Park. It's been the talk of the town the past few months. The new dirt, the new surface that we see here at Volusia that was put on after Dirt Car Nationals last year. So a lot of these drivers seeing this racetrack for the first time just last night in the practice sessions, but some of them say, hey, it might be a little bit familiar, and that's because some of the dirt put back on here was from the old Volusia way back in the day. The dirt actually coming from just 10 miles down the road, 300 loads of new dirt being put onto the surface here at Volusia, 80 being taken away, and a little bit of a reconfiguration in turns number 3 and 4. The ideal to be able to make it slick from top to bottom and race really, really well like we saw last night during practice. And what a star-studded, an exciting practice that it was. The previous track record here, or excuse me, the current track record here held at Volusia in the super late model is held by Bobby Pierce with a 15.1. Well, yesterday, and although it's not official, 8 drivers broke that record, the fastest being Chris Madden with a 14.8 lap time around this very fast half mile, but 7 other drivers joining him as well. Tim McCready, Hudson O'Neill, Nick Hoffman, Drake Troutman, Max Blair, Dale McDowell, and Brandon Overton all had times below that 15.1 time yesterday. But unfortunately, not everyone had the day that they wanted to go yesterday during practice, Cody Overton being one of those drivers. 2 motors blown during practice just yesterday, so unfortunately we will not see him hit the racetrack here this weekend. But one driver, new thing, we talked about it, the fastest overall in practice, Chris Madden rolling out in the Infiniti House Car, new to the 2026 program here with the Dirt Super Late models this year. And a very, very fast piece that he's got behind him, fastest yesterday in multiple different practice sessions, opted to not go out for the 3rd practice session, but keep in mind his Infiniti chassis partner Ryan Gustin picked up a win at Sunshine Nationals just last year, so keep your eye on some of those drivers rolling into practice here just a little bit. But one driver I think everyone has circled as, okay, we're here to watch this guy. That's the smooth operator, your reigning champion with the Outlaw, Bobby Pierce. Yep, your reigning champion has 2 championships under his belt here, but rolling back into Volusia Speedway Park, a place that he sometimes has speed, but luck has just not been on his side. Every time he comes here to Dirt Car Sunshine Nationals, we've seen broken motors, we've seen bad restarts, we've seen blown tires. Every year he comes to Sunshine Nationals not able to pick up a win and start the season exactly how he wanted. But he's had a good start to his season so far, already one win on the 2026 season this year, just a few weeks ago at Wild West Shootout. But yesterday, motor swap for the 32 team, new power plant under the hood, and hopefully that bad luck is washed away from him. We caught up with him earlier on in the pits about how he's feeling about his chances to go back to back with the Outlaws this season, and hopefully that bad luck being washed away here from Sunshine Nationals.
I feel pretty normal, honestly. Just kind of ready to get out there, do some racing. I'll know more after the first night. You know, if we have a good first night, then a lot of the nerves are gone, and kind of go out there and have a lot of confidence for the whole weekend. But you know, we have 5 out of 8 races for this Florida swing that count for the points. So you know, you have a couple throwout nights. So a couple nights you can be off, and you know, this isn't like you know, some races throughout the year, the competition level kind of splits off and you have a lot more races going on, whereas right now, you know, you look through the pit area and almost every car here is really good. So you know, heading into this that it's going to be tough. to get off on the right foot, but I feel pretty confident in it. And you know, Volusia is a racetrack that it's unlike Charlotte. Like Charlotte, I really struggle, whereas Volusia, I have had some wins here in the past, and lots of times, like I qualify really good here most of the time. I guess I still got the track record. We'll see if it gets beaten tonight, but I feel like I qualify good here. So if we can keep doing that, the weekend kind of goes pretty good. But it's kind of all about just staying right there. You know, not having so many bad nights where you're dreading March. Just kind of going into March with like I said, you don't have to have the point lead. You just want to be in the mix of things.
Honest opinion here, okay? Is the 32 going back to back?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bobby Pierce hoping it's back-to-back with the Outlaws, and not bad luck here this weekend at Sunshine Nationals. You just heard him, a very confident Bobby Pierce, so keep your eye on the 32, hoping to kick off his season strong here this evening. But before we get cars onto the racetrack, let's take a quick second to look at the order of events. And did I mention late models, and maybe some more late models, as we are joined by over 200 late models on property here at Volusia, also joined by the 602 late models and the 604 or the crate late models. But it'll be the World of Outlaws who kick off the night with their hot lap session, followed by the 602s for their hot lap qualifying session. Then the Outlaws back on the track for their 2-lap qualifying session before the 604s have their hot lap qualifying efforts. And then we'll take a quick break from on-track action for opening ceremonies before we move into World of Outlaw late model heats. There'll be 4 heats tonight, 8 laps apiece. Top 2 will join me in the redraw later on tonight. Then the 602 late model feature number 1 will take place before that redraw will happen just up here. Then we'll move into last chance showdowns 1 and 2 for the World of Outlaw late models. Take a quick break for track prep if necessary before that 602 late model feature number 2 hits the racetrack. Then it is time for the World of Outlaw late model feature race. 35 laps, $12,000 going home with the winner here this evening. And then the 604s will take to the racetrack for their features 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that order. And like I said, my name is Ashton Smythe, and I got you covered with everything happening down here. But Ruben, this hat is sick. This will be what our drivers will be taking home if they end up on the podium and join me right here on this stage later on tonight. So many storylines to talk about. I'm excited to kick off another season. How are you feeling today, Ruben?
Good evening to you, Ashton. Feeling really good. Ready to kick off the 25th season for the World of Outlaws late models presented by DIRTVision here in 2026. And a lot of storylines, of course, developing from the end of last year into this year. Ashton, I got a feeling in my gut, and I'm sure you got the feeling in your gut, with all the drivers signed up, which, by the way, 16 right now, and we'll explain when the deadline is. We are in for a great season, from championship contenders to a great Rookie of the Year class. I'm excited. I hope you are as well.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. In my second year on tour with the World of Outlaw late models, and like you said, so many storylines in the off season alone. Obviously, Tyler Erb joining the Outlaws here this season. That's going to be really exciting. Another one I wanted to talk about, I'm sure we'll see him, or we'll talk about him later on. Tim McCready, obviously back with the Booms Briggs Transport team for the second year this year, going to be another championship contender. All of your top 3 in points joining us again this year. Man, Ruben, it's going to be an absolutely great year.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ashton. As drivers make their way onto the rim road, 44 entries here this evening. We'll have Group AB qualifying, 22 cars in each group. That will set the lineups for 4 World of Outlaw late model heat races coming up later this evening. Top 4 will transfer directly to the feature after heat race competition. 16 drivers will be locked in. 5th on back will go to a pair of last chance showdowns, where the top 3 will advance to the feature. That'll lock in 22 drivers tonight at Volusia Speedway Park. We will go based off 2,025 points. And we will have 1 owner points provisional, 1 driver provisional, and 4 emergencies if needed. Just for the reminder, last year's points finishing order: Pierce, Hoffman, Gustin, McCready, Erb, Troutman, Shirley, Cody Overton, Tanner English, and that matters because of Donald McIntosh, and the owner points, who's piloting the Coltman Farms car tonight: Ethan Dotson, Dustin Sorensen, Jake Tim, Tristan Chamberlain, and Brent Larson. 16 drivers have committed to run the World of Outlaws here in 2026. The deadline has been moved. In the past, under the direction of Steve Francis as series director, the deadline was always the first drivers meeting of the year, which would have been today, but now it is pushed back to Monday, February 16th. That is the last call to sign. That is the Monday after the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals and in between Hendry County. We will take the best 5 of the 8 with the World of Outlaws, dropping the worst 3 before we get into action in March. The 16 drivers so far committed: Brent Larson, Logan Zarin, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender, Ethan Dotson, Drake Troutman, Nick Hoffman, Jake Tim, Tyler Erb, Dalton Wilson, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender, Bobby Pierce, Tristan Chamberlain, Eli Johnson, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender, Dustin Sorensen, Trey Mills, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender, Tim McCready, Ryan Gustin, and Dennis Erb Jr. Hot lap session number 1, rolling onto the speedway, led out by Matthew Larson out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota. The Longhorn Pro Power number 8. 3 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 13th at Nodak. In the number 1 at a New Waverly, Texas. The number 1S is going to be Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois. The Valvoline Sober Camp Ranch's number 1 in that Rocket 1. Also on the speedway, you'll find the B1 of Brent Larson out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota. Lender Pressure Washers Fuel Factory number B1, a whole reset this season, kind of organized the shop, did all that. New hauler for them, very, very organized to start the year this year in the B1. Right behind him, out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, the Centerline Motorsports 111 of Max Blair, 5-time World of Outlaws feature winner. Right behind him, the number 1, I guess you could call the World of Outlaws the Fun Tour now. Out of New Waverly, Texas, Tyler Erb, 4-time World of Outlaws feature winner, got that win at Mississippi Thunder Speedway with the Outlaws last year. Right behind him, going to go Rookie of the Year with the Lucas Oil Series, and his 9th full year behind the wheel of a super late model. That is Josh Rice out of Verona, Kentucky. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania, the number 1Z, Logan Zarin. 9 World of Outlaw starts for Zarin in his 6th year of super late model racing. Best finish with the Outlaws, 14th at Sharon back in 2021. We've introduced you to Shepard, Larson. Those are all the drivers on the speedway as we get ready for the first hot lap session here at the Sunshine Nationals at Volusia. The Gorsuch Performance green flag getting ready to fly here at Volusia. One more driver sneaking onto the racetrack. The number 15, Clay Stuckey out of Blanchard, Louisiana. 7 Outlaw starts for Stuckey. Best finish 12th at Arrowhead Speedway. Hot lap session number 1 getting ready to commence here. Track record 15.100. As Ashton mentioned in the pre-race, 8 drivers were faster than that track record last night. Chris Madden, top of the charts, 14.814, came out for 2 of the 3 sessions. Nick Hoffman, Drake Troutman, Max Blair, Dale McDowell, Tim McCready, Brandon Overton, and Hudson O'Neill were the other drivers that went faster than the track record last night. Tyler Bachman, general manager here at Volusia Speedway Park, as Ashton mentioned, 300 loads of clay hauled in, 70 loads loaded out. We've added more LED lighting around the facility. And if you're watching at home on DIRTVision, you're within drivable distance, come join us the next 2 nights. Great field of cars, beautiful weather. I mean, for the first time, this is the 6th annual Sunshine Nationals. It's going to live to its moniker, and we are going to see sunshine all 4 nights. Practice was a success last night. We'll have racing the next 2 nights. Come on out, join us here at Volusia Speedway Park. All the great work that Tyler Bachman and his staff have done here. Bucket list racetrack for many, and it should be on yours. But if not, watch every lap live on DIRTVision. Brandon Shepard atop of the charts, 19.3744 Rocket 1. Brett Larson now to the top of the charts in the B1 as the track continues to get faster here. 18.818 for Tyler Erb in the 1. Quickest here. Of course, with the Outlaws, we'd like to welcome back Dirt King Simulators. Dirt King Simulators' fastest hot lap. We'll get a $100 check courtesy of Dirt King Simulators. Visit them down on Vendor Row. There's Tyler Erb at the Best Performance Motorsports #1. 2024 Dirt Car Summer Nationals champion, ready to take on the Outlaws. Of course, Turbo's been on the Outlaws before. Glad to have him back in the one. Shall be a fun year for him. Just what a great roster. And they're the ones. Tyler Erb, Brent Larson, Brandon Shepard, Max Blair, Josh Rice, all on the scoreboard there. As drivers going to iron out the racing service, we'll get ready to roll them out once again. If you haven't seen our 2026 schedule, go to worldofoutlaws.com. Check it out now. A great schedule this year. As Ashton mentioned, getting ready to go 61 nights of racing at 37 venues in 19 beautiful states. And we have a lot of returning racetracks and a lot of new racetracks this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to see you here at the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals in February. Of course, the final 3 nights of the second week will be World of Outlaw late model nights, Thursday through Saturday, February 12th, 13th, and 14th. Dirt car late model action that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And of course, we're heading down to Hendrick County Motorsports Park in Clewiston, Florida, February 19th, 20th, and 21st. 3 nights there. Of course, the first night being practice. Just so much good stuff coming up. Going back to Volunteer in Tennessee, Magnolia, really excited at that, in March, East Alabama, Sanoa. Go check it out, worldofoutlaws.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on X to keep up to date with everything happening with the World of Outlaws. And of course, while you're at it, like DIRTVision on social media as well. Hot lap session #1 to give these guys a fair opportunity to get a good racetrack to hot lap on. We gave them a couple laps to iron out the surface, give them the Gorsuch Performance green flag once again, and go at Brent Larson at top of the chart, 17.227. He was 15th quick in the first hot lap session last night. Practice session that had 40 plus cars in it. He's unloaded with some speed here this weekend, as well as Brandon Shepard in the #1. Never count him out. Although Shepard has had tons of success here at Volusia, all that success is at the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals. He's never won a feature at the Sunshine Nationals. Your previous winners of the Sunshine Nationals are Kyle Bronson, Kyle Strickler, Dale McDowell, Devin Moran, Hudson O'Neill, Ryan Gustin, and Garrett Alberson. 7 different winners in 9 events. Devin Moran, the only repeat winner, winning 3 of those. Devin Moran not here this weekend. Max Blair has the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap, 17.203 for the 111. Hot lap session #2, rolling onto the Speedway. You'll find the 11 of Evan Kohler, the 18-year-old, in his 3rd year behind the wheel of a super late model. Actually, that's going to be the 11 of Alan Stick out of Americus, Georgia. Trying to make his first Outlaw start, 2 years of crate racing, 10 wins, 1st year on and off in a super late model. Right behind him, that's going to be the 99B of Boom Briggs out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania. 339 Outlaw starts, looking for that first win. The 2-time ULMS champion in the 99B. Right behind him from Renner, South Dakota, in the Western Provisions, #76, Blair Nodorf. 30 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 9th at River Cities 2 times, and Volusia. Dale McDowell in the 17M out of Chickamauga, Georgia. 276 Outlaw starts, 14 World of Outlaw victories for one of the 9 drivers that have won the World 100 and the Dirt Late Model Dream. In the #11, Stacy Bowles out of Clinton, Tennessee. 5 World of Outlaw starts, now in his 24th season behind the wheel of a super late model. Best finish with the Outlaws, 14th at Tazewell back in 2015. Now in his sophomore year with the World of Outlaws at Winona, Minnesota, the Longhorn Cornet #49 at Jake Tim. 61 Outlaw starts, best finish 5th at Norman County last summer. Now in his 7th year behind the wheel of a super late model. In the 20RT, it's going to be Ricky Thornton Jr. in the Kohler Motorsports. 5 World of Outlaw victories for Ricky Thornton Jr. Now in his 6th year behind the wheel of a super late model on the national scene. The 2024 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion. And of course, former Prairie Dirt Classic champion as well. 22 star in his sophomore season, last year's MD3 Rookie of the Year champion at Heidemann, Pennsylvania, the GR Smith Motorsports Team 22 Incorporated, #22 star, Drake Troutman. 57 Outlaw starts, got that win at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway last year, and the Infinity House car, they have unloaded with a lot of speed already here this weekend. Out of Great Court, South Carolina, the Wells Motorsports, #44, Chris Smokey Madden, 6th on the all-time wins list with the Outlaws at 39 career World of Outlaw victories in his 313 World of Outlaw starts. Caution lights are out. We get ready for hot lap session #2. Gorsuch Performance green flag flying here in hot lap session number 2 at Volusia Speedway Park. Drake Troutman off to a very busy 2026, ran the Chili Bowl in Tulsa, Oklahoma, went out to the Wild West Shootout. Drake Troutman's a racer. He's always wanted to race and already a good amount of races under his belt. Chris Madden, good to see him back. Of course, last year with Cale Green, now this year, Wells Motorsports. Remember, a year ago, an Infinity chassis won the season opener. That was Ryan Gustin. We'll see if Madden can do that as he now goes to the top of the charts with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap at a 16.584. Chris Madden is going to be tough to beat tonight. I can just feel it after last night's whopping lap times, 14.814. He was the fastest last night. And Chris Madden will take it back to the pit area. And that Wells Motorsports Millwood Plumbing Infinity House Car Clements powered number 44. Next group in the staging area, getting ready to roll onto the speedway here momentarily. Nick Hoffman, new crew chief this year. There you see Scott Fechter on the pit bike in front of Nick Hoffman's car. Of course, Scott Fechter, a very good resume that he has. And switching over to the Ty Touareg racing team here this offseason. Nick Hoffman, of course, second in the World of Outlaws point standings a year ago, but only by 56 points. Nick Hoffman is going to be a championship contender, and watching this team is going to be a lot of fun. 5 wins a year ago for Nick Hoffman, and he matched his season record, 5 wins the year before as well, and 1 the year before in his rookie campaign. Now coming back on his 4th year in the Outlaws at Mooresville, North Carolina, the Ty Touareg number 9, Nick Hoffman, 11-time World of Outlaws feature winner. Right behind him, the 388 out of Ocala, Florida. That's Jackson Heiss. 1 World of Outlaws start, came at Swainsboro at the beginning of last year, got 23rd. Right behind him, the 74X, now in his sophomore season with the Outlaws out of Bakersfield, California. Big winner Wednesday night of the Wild West Shootout. That's Ethan Dotson, going to make his 60th Outlaw start tonight. Winner with us at Farmer City last year. Right behind him, the defending 2-time World of Outlaws champion out of Oakwood, Illinois, Bobby Pierce, tied for 5th on the all-time wins list with Billy Moyer. Going to make his 208th World of Outlaws start here tonight. Right behind him, that is going to be MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Dalton Wilson. The Big Frog Motorsports, Viper Risk Management, Ocala Restaurant Supply 58V, 36 Outlaw starts, Pest finish 3rd at Cherokee and Fairbury back in 2024. In the 0, joining us from up north out of Ohsweken, Ontario, Canada, Glenn Stiers, trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature start, 2nd year behind the wheel of a super late model. Down the back straightaway in the 5 out of Middleburg, Florida, Mark Whitener, going to make his 30th Outlaw start tonight. And back for more in the 20 TC, Tristan Chamberlain in his 2nd year with the Outlaws in the 20 TC. Gibson Racing Machine make his 70th Outlaw start here tonight. This is Hot Lap Session number 3.
Let's go!
And trouble for Glenn Stiers in the 0. Glenn Stiers also racing the Chili Bowl. Got banged up out of the Chili Bowl, and Max McLaughlin almost took the wheel of the 0 car. Mad Max, of course, former MD3 Rookie of the Year contender with the Outlaws 2 years ago. Would have loved to have seen Mad Max back, but glad to have Glenn Stiers here, and trouble start for him here in Hot Lap Session number 3. He'll get the push from the Dave Warren Power Sports safety vehicle and make his way back into turn number 1 as Glenn Stiers gets it fired back up. Mitchell Hedstrom, race director for the World of Outlaws, giving them the communication over the one-way radio, driver radio powered by Racing Electronics, the official ears of the World of Outlaws and dirt car racing. And the Gorsuch Performance green flag out. Chris Madden has the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap at a 16.584. We'll see if anyone tops him here in this one. There's Ethan Dotson, 74X. He's had success here at Volusia Speedway Park, winning the Rudiman Memorial with the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Ethan Dotson now comes back with ASD Motorsports. See what he can do here this season. Nick Hoffman now with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap, 16.371. Now Dalton Wilson to the top of the charts. Checkered flag is out. Dalton Wilson atop of the charts now with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap at a 16.353 into 58V. Big Perm, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender atop of the charts over Nick Hoffman, Mark Whitener, Bobby Pierce, and Chris Madden in the top 5. Blair Nodorf 6th, Jackson High 7th, Alan Stick 8th, Drake Troutman 9th, and Ricky Thornton Jr. in the top 10. Drivers in the rim road getting the signal from Volusia Speedway Park officials to make their way onto the speedway. And hot lap session number 4 going to be led out by the driver to Dawsonville, Georgia, the number 7 at Donald McIntosh. McIntosh 12 World of Outlaw feature starts, best finish 5th, twice Smoky Mountain and Cherokee. And the Coltman Farms Racing number 7M. Also on the speedway, now in his sophomore year with the Outlaws, junior year, out of Rochester, Minnesota, the Altenberg Construction, Paulson Rock Products, number 19, Dustin Sorensen, welcoming some new marketing partners, Redline Oils, PEM Rear Ends, and VP Racing Fuels. Also on the speedway, the 79, Corey Hedgecock out of Loudon, Tennessee, and the Hicks Racing, H&H Auto Sales, number 79, 2 World of Outlaw feature wins, both coming at the 411. Out in Tennessee, missed that place so much. 17 World of Outlaw starts for the 79. In the T1 at Penton, Alabama, a potential Rookie of the Year contender, Todd Murrow. He's going to go through Sunshine Nationals and Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals and have that Monday deadline that we talked about, February 16th, to make a decision if he'd like to continue for MD3 Rookie of the Year. 1 Outlaw start for him, best finished 24th at Sonoya last year. The 19R Ryan Gustin, your winner of the season opener a year ago, and the Cooney Motorsports number 19R, 15 World of Outlaw feature wins for the 19R of Ryan Gustin. He was red hot in the desert. We'll see if he continues that success here at Volusia to Martinsville, Indiana. The new deal, Hudson O'Neal, 3-time World of Outlaws feature winner in his 52 starts, and that K&L Rumley Enterprise number 6. The 114 Jordan Kohler at Mount Airy, North Carolina. And the 114 7 Outlaw starts, best finished 12th at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Clewiston, Florida. The 55E Eli Johnson trying to make his first Outlaw feature start here tonight. 2nd year behind the wheel of a super late model. Another MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of St. Augustine, Florida. The Mills Concrete number 14, Trey Mills, 17-year-old. The 2023 Hunt the Front Rookie of the Year. 4th year behind the wheel of a super late model. Of course, won the Herald and Review last year. And his richest payday, $20K, the Cotton Pickin' 100. Last year, 4 Outlaw starts, best finished 10th at the Talladega Short Track. The 81, Jason Riggs out of College Grove, Tennessee. 1 Outlaw start, best finished 12th at Farmer City back in 2024. As he will take it into the infield. And it appears that those are all the drivers here in Hot Lap session number 4. Dalton Wilson, 16.353. Is the fastest right now in hot laps, and now give it to Hudson O'Neal. He'll go to the top of the chart, 16.084. 4 competitors on Olin's here this weekend. Hudson O'Neal, Dustin Sorensen, Bobby Pierce, and Michael Leach. Corey Hedgecock at top of the charts out of Loudon, Tennessee, 15.956. That Hicks Racing number 79 as he goes to the top of the charts, 15.956 for Corey Hedgecock. He now has the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap, again at a 15.9565. One final group getting ready to roll on to Volusia Speedway Park, led out by the Riggs Motorsports number 76 of Brandon Overton. Well, actually, the Riggs Motorsports 81 of Jason Riggs, also on the Speedway, made his way into the infield. Now back onto the Speedway. We talked about him earlier. Brandon Overton as well. 191 World of Outlaw starts, 20 World of Outlaw victories for the 2015 World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year, Hunt the Front champion 2 years ago. And of course, one of the 9 drivers to win the World and the Dream, 3-time Dream winner and the 2021 World 100 champion. Out of Sun River, Montana, the 09 Michael Leach, 10 World of Outlaw starts, best finish, 8th at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway last year. The Montana Express now commencing his 3rd year behind the wheel of a super late model. In the 40B out of Brandon, Florida, changing the color scheme up, Kyle Bronson, a winner at the Sunshine Nationals back in 2021. Out of Brandon, Florida, 3 World of Outlaw victories in his 154 feature starts in his 10th year now behind the wheel of a super late model. Right behind him, Clay Harris joining us out of Jupiter, Florida, trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature start here tonight, 2nd in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year point standings back in 2024, now in his 3rd year behind the wheel of a super late model. The 2022 World of Outlaws champion, Dennis Erb Jr. to Carpentersville, Illinois, would like to welcome Riverton Party Stores, a new marketing partner for them this year. 394 starts for the 2022 champion, 15 World of Outlaw victories, finished 5th in the point standings a year ago. In the 23, now in his 3rd year behind the wheel of a super late model, 14-year-old, just turned 14 in December, Beckham Malone at Rock Hill, South Carolina. 2 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 9th at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway last year. And the 24, a Tyler Wyant out of Oil City, Pennsylvania, trying to make his first Outlaw start, the 21-year-old 2nd-generation driver, 4th year behind the wheel of a super late model, along with Kyle Strickler out of Mooresville, North Carolina. 2 World of Outlaw feature wins. Of course, Strickler, a winner here at Volusia Speedway Park at the Sunshine Nationals back in 2021 as well. And Tim McCready, championship contender in 2026 in the Dave Warren Power Sports number 9, 39 World of Outlaw victories, tied for 6th all-time, 7th all-time, 496 World of Outlaw starts for T-Mac, inching closer to his 500th start. 2006 World of Outlaws champion, 2-time Lucas Oil champion as well. As the Gorsuch Performance green flag flies here in this hot lap session. See if anyone can top Corey Hitchcock. This is the final hot lap session before we get ready for 602 late model hot lap qualifying. And Brandon Overton will go to the top of the charts. 15.916. Tim McCready, 6th quick. Brandon Overton was one of the 8 drivers to go faster than the track record last night, and he's going to top everybody in hot laps as he has the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap in the 76 at a 15.893. That's going to conclude hot laps for the World of Outlaw late models presented by DIRTVision. Up next, 602 late model hot lap qualifying, followed by World of Outlaw late model qualifying, and then we'll get ready for 604 late model hot lap qualifying. Joining us in the booth, Cody Early, of course, calling the 604s, and the voice of Volusia Speedway Park, Bob Stokel with the 602 late models. Bob, good evening to you, my friend, and good to see you again.
Well, thank you, Ruben. It's always great to be back here at Volusia Speedway Park, you know. Been a while since I got to talk with you guys up here, but what a Sunshine Nationals we have this year. Record number of cars. We're up over 200. Every year it goes up. And the 602 late models are going to put on a great show tonight.
And I got to say, Bob, you know, with the change, and Cody, you can agree to this, the change of the scheduling of late model racing, right, of speed weeks in general, you know, with Lucas Oil starting after Dirt Car Nationals, you know, what was the car count going to be like this? I mean, man, the car count here is fantastic. I mean, 44 supers, that's very healthy. The car count between the 602, 604s, I mean, people are ready to race.
They don't call it the late model palooza for nothing.
That's right.
Exactly. You know,
really got that this weekend.
Cody and I were just looking in the previous years on how many cars we had, and unfortunately, every year it has gone up. And my prediction, we had 175 last year, and I said, we're going to get over 200 this year. What are we at now, Cody? 201?
201.
201. So we made it. And, you know, I think it's a lot to do with the weather that we're having down here.
Yes.
Because up north, and these guys are just wanting to get out of that cold weather.
Well, guys, every year the Sunshine Nationals, Cody's blaming the weather on himself. Every year the Sunshine Nationals, we've always rained out one, and that's why I said at the top of the show, this year, it might might live up to its moniker because we got practice in and we might get all 3 nights. And first time we get every single night in. That's why I'm saying if there's fans listening at home, if you're within a driving distance or you can find a cheap flight, hey, come join us the next 2 nights because Friday, Saturday, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Even we had to park trailers in the go-kart track area. I don't know if we ever had to do that before. It's a beautiful thing.
I was in charge of parking yesterday, and I got to say that was very stressful. But yes, we started parking them in the boneyard, and then we ran out of space in the boneyard, and we had to start parking them in the kart track. So Volusia Speedway Park is packed, and we hope we pack the stands this weekend as well.
If somebody told me I was parking in the boneyard, I think I would just go to the go-kart track to start with.
Oh, man.
All right, always great to be back here at Volusia. All right, race fans, this is how it's going to work here with the 602 late models. We have 56 cars entered tonight. We will do 3 groups of qualifying, Group A, Group B, and Group C. The cars that you qualify with will be the cars that you run your feature with. So we're going to run 6 cars at a time for 602 hot lap / qualifying, and that will set the starting lineups for the features that'll be kind of scattered out throughout the night with the lineup that we have. So the first group of cars are going to go out. The first one out will be the number C4 machine out of Florence, Mississippi. That will be Devin Watley. Devin, when that Steens Creek Transportation Lewis Plumbing MS Central Diesel machine, that's a Rocket XR1 engine by Jay Dickens. Also joining him, the first group of cars going out of Clayton, Georgia, driving car number 149 will be Seth Speed. Talked to those guys yesterday quite a bit. First time here, they're excited to be at Volusia Speedway Park. Third car going out will be the number 16 machine out of Knoxville, Tennessee, in that Rocket Chassis, Eagle Race Engines, ACS Automation and Control Solutions, Southeast Oral and Facial Surgery, number 16 of Dawson Lowe. Also joining those drivers will be the number 55 out of Knoxville, Tennessee. That'll be the Clearwater Plumbing, Ramsey & Son Excavating, B&W Electric, number 55 of Kyle Courtney. Luke Clements in the 51C out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina will join that group, along with Curtis Thomas out of South Knoxville, Tennessee, in the 5 car. And Ruben, it looks like, well, T-Mac may be going back to his area. I thought they were going to give him a lap or so. So the first group of 6 cars will take the speedway here momentarily. Track record currently held by Mr. Nevin Gainey at a 17.587, set back in January of 2024. So Luke Clemens in that 51C machine, in that Longhorn chassis, Clemens Engines, Appling Boring, Alliance Driveway Solutions, All South Electric, Moon Manus Construction, Wings, etc., Spartan Waste, Fox Sports 98.3 FM. Speaking of FM, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the area, the immediate area, and you happen to be in your car, you can dial up 98.1, and you can hear all the action here at Volusia Speedway Park. We're broadcasting live, obviously, on 98.1. So if you folks get a little chilly later and you're sitting in your car, well, that's the number you need to know. All right, so it'll be a green-white checkered. Again, this will be hot lap qualifying for the 602 late models. Got a lot of spectators entering off of turn number 4 there. What we allow them to do is they get infield parking, and it is really neat. And by the end of the night, and I guarantee you all weekend long, as you folks can see along the infield pit area, you can buy a pass and a pit pass and park your car or truck right there and sit and enjoy all the action right there in the corners of the back straightaway. Beautiful afternoon here at Volusia Speedway Park for you folks that are in the grandstand. Great food vendors we have here. I'll go over them a little bit later. Of course, we got the famous Steve Barlin steak on a stick here, Waikiki noodles, Going Butts barbecue. Tons of food here at Volusia Speedway Park. If you go away hungry, it's your own fault. All right, here we go, race fans. First hot lap qualifying session. The number 4 machine. Again, that is Devin Watley along with the Seth Speed machine. That's the 149. Dawson Lowe in the 16. Kyle Courtney in the 55. Luke Clemens in the 51C. And Curtis Thomas in the number 5 car. So it'll be the green, the white, and the checkered. And we're off for 602 late model qualifying. First car on the watch. Is it going to work it off of turn number 4? Remember, everybody chasing a 17.587. That's a track record. Seth Speed right now in 18.517 sits atop the leaderboard. Kyle Courtney sitting there in the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Dawson Lowe with an 18.002 now atop the leaderboard. That didn't last long as Luke Clemens in the 51C, 17.932. Your quick time so far, Luke Clemens with a 17.932. Dawson Lowe in 2nd, Seth Speed, Devin Watley, Kyle Courtney, and Curtis Thomas. So the first group of qualifying in the A group, Luke Clemens right now, the time to beat 17.921. Just 0.4 of a second off of that track record. You know, folks, we've got new clay here, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Completely different racetrack than we had here in 2025. All right, the next group that will go out will be Jeff Queen out of Cross Hills, South Carolina in the 28B. Jordan Lockhart out of Brunswick, Georgia in the 7L. Morgan Johnson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina in the 1M. Davey Klein out of St. Augustine, Florida in the 71C. Brody Yarborough out of Pontotoc, Kentucky in the 48. And Grayson Ott out of Thomasville, Georgia in car number 3. So right now, everybody chasing Luke Clemens with a 17.921. Let's see what these guys can do. And girls, we do have a young lady, Morgan Johnson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina in the 1M here competing with us tonight. And got one a little bit off the pace. That's a number 28 machine going to get right in front of Davey Klein. Jordan Lockhart atop the leaderboard, 17.680. Lockhart quickest, Davey Klein in 8th, Morgan Johnson, the young lady, in the 4th quickest. So Jordan Lockhart with a 17.680 quick time so far. Not quite as quick in lap number 2. So that's going to do it for group number 2 here. Jordan Lockhart with a 17.680 atop the leaderboard, a 1/10 of a second off of Nevin Gainey's track record. Luke Clemens going to hang on to that 2nd spot. Dawson Lowe 3rd, Grayson Ott 4th, and Morgan Johnson, the young lady, right now in the top 5. Next group going to go out. Jack Mills out of Griffin, Georgia in car number 7. Kaylin Kettle out of Colbert, Georgia in the KO machine. Kerry King out of Delmar, Delaware in the KB machine. Wiley McDaniel out of Byron, Georgia in the 25W. Marty Massey out of Douglasville, Georgia in the 15. Troy Kidd out of East Palatka Holly in the 44K. And Hayden Cardwell out of Knoxville, Tennessee in the 17C. Everybody chasing Jordan Lockhart with a 17.680. We'll see how this group does. Michael Stewart in charge of traffic here for the 7th annual Sunshine Nationals. He's our regular flagman here on a Saturday night. Does an outstanding job. All right, let's see how these drivers do. First one across of a stripe. Jack Mills, 11th quickest, 18.955. Not so good. Hayden Cardwell, 4th quickest, 18.418. Marty Massey now 4th quickest with 18.155. Troy Kidd in 19.694. That is 17th quickest. while McDaniel goes up to the 5th spot with an 18.264. So the best one out of that group, Marty Massey out of Douglasville, Georgia, up to the P2 with a 17.885. So good run there for Marty Massey in the number 15 machine. Well, that's going to do it for group number 1. It's going to be Jordan Lockhart, your overall fast time qualifier for tonight. That means he'll be on the pole for the first feature for the 602 late models. Group B going to roll out. First one out will be the number 11 R Machine out of Phoenix City, Alabama. That would be Hunter Robbins. Dustin Rollins out of Princeton, Kentucky, in the 88 will roll out next to him. Griffin Jones out of Ryan, Georgia, in the 17J. Trent Ivy out of Union, South Carolina, in the 28I. Mario Gresham in the number 21 out of Rome, Georgia. And our local runner, Brandon Yates out of Ruskin, Florida, in the number 53 car. That'll be the next group of cars going out for Group B. So the field will be set for the first feature. Jordan Lockhart will be on the pole. Marty Massey will be second. Luke Clemens will be third. Hayden Cardwell will be fourth. And Dawson Lowe will be in the top 5 for the 602 feature event later on this evening. So once again, we want to welcome all you race fans here at Volusia Speedway Park, and of course all you great fans out there watching on DIRTVision. What a weekend we're going to have at Volusia. Like Ruben said a few moments ago, if you're close to the Central Florida area, come on down to Volusia. 201 late models on the property. Hard to beat it. All right, next group going out. All right, so once again, it'll be Hunter Robbins out of Phoenix City, Alabama, in the 11R. Dustin Rollins out of Princeton, Kentucky, in the 88. Griffin Jones, the 17J. Trent Ivy in the 28I. Mario Gresham in the 21. And Brandon Yates in the 53 machine. Group B qualifying underway, hot lap qualifying. And we're going to get him on the clock right about now. Hunter Robbins, first one over. Obviously going to be the quickest, 18.254. Griffin Jones now atop the leaderboard with an 18.228. That didn't last long as Trent Ivy with a 17.971 atop the leaderboard. Brandon Yates struggling a bit. He's 6th quickest. Finished runner-up in points here in 2025. But Trent Ivy right now with a 17.971 fast time for qualifying Group B. So Trent with a 17.971 quickest. Hunter Robbins with a 18.193 second overall. Griffin Jones with an 18.215 was 3rd quickest. And the next group of cars coming out. First one out will be the number 51 out of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That'll be Mac McCarter. Logan Bradford out of Huntsville, Alabama, in the 67 goes off. Also, Tim Ryan out of Miami, Florida, in the 27. Braxton Fawcett out of Winfield, Alabama, in the B17. Chase Blackwell out of Grays Creek, North Carolina, in the number 6 machine. And Cody Jett out of Middleburg, Florida, in the number 86. Group 2 for qualifying the B group on the racetrack. Well, let's see if anybody can bump Trent Ivy off the number 1 spot. All right, as they come to the stripe. Again, it's a green-white checkered. 2 laps to do your best. Mac McCarter, 7th quickest. What about Logan Bradford, 2nd overall, 18.048. So Bradford with a good run so far. Tim Ryan, 7th quickest with an 18.807. Chase Blackwell atop the leaderboard, 17.965. Blackwell top the leaderboard. Shuffles Trent Ivy to the 2nd spot. Bradford with a good run. He sits 3rd with an 18.048. And And Chase Blackwell went a little bit quicker, 17.916 for Blackwell. He's quickest overall in qualifying Group B. Cody Jett come across in the 12th spot with a 19.619. Final group for qualifying Group B. Out of Clover, South Carolina, driving car number 9 will be John Marshall Pursley. Joining him out of Hope Mills, North Carolina in the 17B will be Timmy Blackwell. Colton Herbert out of Locust Grove, Georgia in the 611. Brad Kitchen out of Brunswick, Georgia in the 11S. Brennan Shirley out of Rainbow City, Alabama in the 111. Ben Lanford out of Madison, Georgia in the 01. And Cade Hunkpiller out of Douglas, Georgia in the 23H. Everybody chasing that number 6 machine of Chase Blackwell, trying to get on a pole for feature number 2 here tonight. Again, this sets our starting lineups for our 602 feature event. All right, Timmy Blackwell, 7th quickest. Not a bad run out of Hope. What about John Marshall Pursley, top of the leaderboard, 17.824. Colton Herbert, 2nd quickest in the 611 with a 17.865. So John Marshall Pursley with a 17.824 atop the leaderboard. So Pursley getting it done here. His last lap was a little bit better, 17.786. So Pursley looks like he's going to be overall quick time for qualifying Group B. So it'll be John Marshall Pursley with a 17.786 quick time in Group B. Colton Herbert with a 17.794. Chase Blackwell will be 3rd with a 17.916. Trent Ivey 4th with a 17.971. And Logan Bradford with an 18.048. They'll be quick, or 5th quickest. All right, we're going to go into our final group of 602 late models. Carly Bennett out of Waycross, Georgia in the 10 machine will be rolling out. Austin Lehman out of Lithia, Florida in the 28. Wyatt Coffey out of Waynesboro, Virginia in the number 2 machine. Brandon Lunsford out of Braxton, Mississippi in the 25. Zach Owens out of Pearl, Mississippi in the number 8. And Tristan Kitchen out of Brunswick, Georgia in the 14T. So this will be our final group, qualifying the C group for their feature event. As you can see, the number 10 cross on the start-finish line. That's Carly Bennett out of Waycross, Georgia. Let's see who's going to be quick time in qualifying Group C. Wyatt Coffey with an 18.265, quickest so far. Zach Owens, 3rd quickest. Tristan Kitchen, 4th quickest. Carly Bennett, 2nd with an 18.298. Everybody chasing Wyatt Coffey with an 18.265. Tristan Kitchen now up to 3rd with an 18.741. Zach Owens, 4th quickest. Brandon Lunsford is 5th quickest. So that'll do it for the first 6. Next group of 6 going out will be Brody Thompson out of Talladega, Alabama in the T9. Joining Brody will be David Showers Sr. We call him Big Chief here at Volusia out of St. Augustine, Florida. Driving a Jim Cryer number 1A machine. Bart Studdard out of Winfield, Alabama in the 11, also going out. Sam Oakley out of Knoxville, Tennessee in the number 19. Jason Papp out of Palm Bay, Florida in the 1J. And Richard Stevens out of Phoenix City, Alabama in this 00 machine. So the second group of qualifying, Group C, will take the racetrack. We'll see if anybody can catch that Wyatt Coffey machine. Wyatt sits atop the leaderboard with an 18.265. All right, once again, I believe this is a record group of 602 late models here. 56 entered here for the 7th annual Sunshine Nationals. What a weekend we're going to have here at Volusia Speedway Park. All right, so there's the number 9 machine, Brody Thompson out of Talladega, Alabama. Ready to get on the clock as he works it through 3 and 4. Gonna have to check up a little bit. He's gonna have to get out of it a little bit. It's a 00 pulled right there in front of him. That would be the Richard Stevens machine. Yep, that happens. All right, Brody Thomas, 7th quickest. What about Brad Studdard? 3rd quickest, 18.383. So a good one for Bart. Jason Papp now, 3rd quickest, 18.379. Good run for Papp. David Showers Sr. sitting right there in the 10th spot. Richard Stevens atop the leaderboard with a 17.935. So Stevens making a statement in that 00 machine, sits atop the leaderboard with a 17.935. Wyatt Coffey is in second with an 18.265. And Stevens with an 18.777, a little bit quicker on his second lap than he was the first. He's atop the leaderboard in that 00. All right, race fans, final group of 602 qualifiers coming out. It'll be Tim Holston out of Wesley Chapel, Florida in the 51H. Mason Musso out of DeLand, Florida in the 21M. Devin Rooks out of Horton, Georgia in the number 13 machine. Matt Herlong out of Bel Rico, Florida in the 131. Matthew Cade out of Hampton, Georgia in the 7K. And Johnny Fawcett out of Winfield, Alabama in the F17. Everybody chasing Richard Stevens with an 18.777. All right, Michael Stewart, give him that green flag. Again, it's green-white checkered coming up here. We'll see if anybody can catch Richard Stevens in that 00 machine. First one on the clock in group number 3, Mason Musso, 14th. What about Matt Herlong? Matt is 3rd quickest with an 18.200. So a good run for Herlong. Matthew Cade right there in 3rd with an 18.200. Identical times for Herlong and Cade. Johnny Fawcett, 17th quickest. All right, that's going to do it. Richard Stevens with a 17.877. Going to be overall fast time for Group C. Matt Herlong, second with 18.200. Tied with Matthew Cade, 18.200. Wyatt Coffey with an 18.265. And Carly Bennett with an 18.298. Well, folks, that will do it for the 602 late model hot lap qualifying. Coming up next, Cody, it's going to be the 604. I'm sorry, it's going to be the World of Outlaw late model qualifying. So, Ruben, those guys a little bit anxious up there, getting ready to kick off their 2026 season here.
Don't worry, Bob. I'll have plenty to do here in just a couple of minutes.
Are you up to 100 yet, Cody?
101.
101 604 late models, man. Is that great? I kind of threw Cody right in front of Ruben there. You know how that works.
The last time I had to announce the 604s, it was 104. I remember that. I remember that. I'll never forget that. So I know what you're going through, Cody. Good work, my friend.
Exactly. All right, Ruben, take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Bob. As we get ready for qualifying with the World of Outlaw late models, as mentioned earlier, 44 entries here this evening, 22 cars in Group A and 22 cars in Group B. Group A will set the lineup for heats 1 and 2. Group B will set the lineups for heats 3 and 4 here this evening. If it's your first World of Outlaw show or first time tuning into DIRTVision, the fastest driver will start on the pole of heat 1, second fastest on the pole of heat 2, third and fourth field to the outside, and so on and so forth. Same thing for Group B, except that we'll be lining up heats 3 and 4. Final 602s making their way back to the pit area. The pit area here at Volusia Speedway Park is loaded. I'm sure we'll have a drone shot later, but man, the Gator Pond is full, Boneyard's full. We got cars in the kart track. We got cars everywhere here at Volusia Speedway Park. And fantastic stuff. If you're coming down to Florida within the next couple of weeks, lots of racing action here at Volusia Speedway Park coming at you these next couple of weeks. And of course, if you can't make it, keep it locked right here. DIRTVision, we got you covered. As we get ready for qualifying, do want to mention 10:30 a.m. this morning, Tech Line started. Of course, Melvin Welch, Tech Director for the World of Outlaw Late Models, has already had a busy start to his season. He went out to Arizona, the Wild West Shootout, helped teching out there. And today at the Tech Line, we had Canute from the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and Series Director Rick Schwally here as well, working alongside Steve Francis and the whole World of Outlaw crew here. And Brian Carter spoke at today's drivers meeting, and really positive things happening in dirt late model racing. Unified rule book coming at you, and of course hopefully settled in by 2027. Good to see both national series working together. Of course they'll kick off their season after we're done at the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals. They'll have a good field of cars. We have a good field of cars this year as well, so I just wanted to give that. And of course Ray Cook was here as well. Good to see Ray Cook, Canute, and Rick here, all working with the World of Outlaw officials. Of course, Steve Francis returns as the series director once again this year with the World of Outlaws. A fantastic schedule, great year up ahead for us here this season. 61 nights, 37 tracks, 19 states. Go to worldofoutlaws.com to see our full complete schedule. And we'll hope to see you at upcoming races. And don't forget, every World of Outlaws late model night live on DIRTVision, home to the greatest shows on dirt. Cars have made their way out on the back straightaway. There you see it on your big screen. Scales are in the infield, so cars have to scale as soon as they're done qualifying. Then they make their way back to the infield if they're pitted there, or make their way out of the backstretch. The cars for qualifying will come out of the back straightaway gate. Super late models already staged back there. I can see them behind the turn 2 grandstands. Cars will come out 3 at a time. Track record 15.100 set by Bobby Pierce on January 19th, 2024. We'll see if anyone can top that here tonight at Volusia Speedway Park for the Sunshine Nationals. Two more 602s here in the infield, and it looks like both of them are parked in the infield, so we are ready to commence qualifying here at Volusia Speedway Park. For the first time in 2026, we begin the 25th season. This quarter-century grind for the World of Outlaws late models. Up first, Brent Larson of the Lake Elmo, Minnesota, the Longhorn Vic Hill, Lander Pressure Washers, Fuel Factory, Hanco Corporation, T-Pack, The Real Cafe, TS Warehouse, number B1, it's Brent Larson. In the 11R, to Verona, Kentucky, the JRR Motor Sales, Glenwood Electric, JRR Trucking, MC Tank Transport, MGL Auto Sales, Rice Excavating and Plumbing, Chain Locker USA, Longhorn Clements, number 11R, it's Josh Rice. Out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota, the Longhorn Pro Power, Fuel Factory, Hanco Corporation, TS Warehouse, number 8, the Baby Bomber, Matthew Larson. Brent Larson getting ready to clock in lap number 1. Josh Rice, 16.383, 16.383 for Josh Rice. Matthew Larson will cross the line, and he will go 16.451, 16.451. Brent Larson, atop of the charts early here, 15.476, just 0.3 off that track record. He was in the, I believe, 15th in practice session number 1 last night out of 43 cars. Brent Larson unloaded with some speed last night, and he's going to be quickest here, 15.476. Matthew Larson second, 16.258, and Josh Rice third. Up next, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender. Out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania, the Longhorn Durham All-American Framer, Brandon's Lawn and Landscape, Lovell Enterprise, Valvoline, Napa Auto Parts, Zarin Truck and Auto, Wedge Motorsports, VG Performance, number 1Z, it's Logan Zarin. In the number 111 from Centerville, Pennsylvania, the Longhorn Clements, Centerline Motorsports, Rick's Fiber, Murphy's Logging, Willie's World, C&J Dairy, Creekside Auto Sales, the Gable Inn, Lakeside Auto Sales, number 111, Max Blair. Out of Blanchard, Louisiana, the Longhorn by Stuckey, Clements, Lucas Oil Products, Graphic Arts Express, Fiber Tech, Laser Cut, R&R Farms, Advanced Powder Coating, number 15, Clay Stuckey. Logan Zarin second quick, 16.179. Max Blair will cross the line. He'll go second quick now, 15.665 for Max Blair. Stuckey goes third quick, 16.127. Zarin will improve on lap number 2. He'll stay fourth quick, 16.172. And Max Blair will keep lap number 1, lap 2 slower at a 15.709. First lap better, 15.665. And Clay Stuckey will go faster. He'll go third quick at a 15.980. After 6, it's Brent Larson, Max Blair, Clay Stuckey, Logan Zarin. Top 4 get a front row starting spot in the first 2 heat races later on tonight. Up next, out of New Berlin, Illinois, the 5-time World of Outlaws champion of the Rocket Durham Valvoline, Soybert Calf Ranches, Franklin Enterprises, Petrov Towing, Fox Shocks, Ace Metalworks, Performance Grading, Gunners, Honey, Styles Marine, TNT Industrial Supply. Number 1, it's Brandon Shepard. In the 388 out of Ocala, Florida, the Longhorn H&R Racing Engines, Quality Service Roofing, Triple Crown Trailers, Down to Earth Trailers, Fitz Factory, DWK Law Firm, Bill Stein, VP Racing Fuels, Boswell Oil, Herbert Graphics. Number 388, Jackson Heiss. In the 74X out of Bakersfield, California, now in his sophomore season, the Longhorn Clements, ASD Motorsports, Jarrett Rifles, North Augusta Customs, XL Flooring, Taco John's, Brad Benton Trucking, BK Grading and Paving, Olin Shocks Contractor Services of Aiken and Boswell Oil. Number 74X, Ethan Dotson. Shepard, second quick, 15.555. Jackson Heiss, fifth quick, 16.109. Ethan Dotson will cross the line, and Dotson going to go fourth quick, 15.831. Shepard will cross the line. His final lap will not improve, 15.571. First lap better, 15.555. Jackson Heiss will not improve, 16.144. He will keep lap 1 sixth quick, 16.109. And Ethan Dotson will improve, third quick, 15.629 for Ethan Dotson. So Dotson third quick, Shepard second. Brent Larson with a time to beat here in Group A at a 15.476. Up next at Clinton, Tennessee, the Capital Vic Hill Advanced Transportation Kaiser Manufacturing Lowe's Tows number 11B. That's going to be Stacy Bowles. One to keep your eye on here this weekend at a Great Court, South Carolina, the Infinity House Car, Clements Powered, Wells Motorsports, Millwood Plumbing, Henderson Amusement, Convenient Lube, Stack Products, VP Racing Fuels, Hardison Suspension Technologies, Weir's Machine, Corsage Performance Products, and All-Star Performance. Number 44, Chris Madden. Now in his sophomore season, at Heinemann, Pennsylvania, the Longhorn Cornet, GR Smith Motorsports, Team 22 Incorporated, Victory Circle Auto Sales, Gambler Transport, Brickhouse Tavern, Lake House Wine Bar, Mesilla Valley Transportation. Number 22 star, Drake Troutman. Stacy Bowles, ninth quick, 16.376. Chris Madden to the top of the charts, 15.376. Drake Troutman, sixth quick, 15.711. As expected, Madden was going to be fast. Stacy Bowles faster, 16.339. Chris Madden doesn't improve, but lap 1 is better. And Drake Troutman will go sixth quick, 15.711. Lap 1 better, but a new quick time. It is 15.376, just under 3/10 off the track record. Chris Madden now quickest here in Group A, 15.376 for the 44 of Chris Madden. Up next, the number 76 at Renner, South Dakota. the Western Provisions, Bargain Barn Tire Center, Asphalt Pros, Howe Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Glanzer Trucking, Longhorn Clements, number 76, Snowdrift, Blair Nodorf. Out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, the Dave Warren Power Sports, Nice by Jamestown, Canna, Corey Rubber Corporation, Excess Storage, JHI Hydraulics, One Rail, Sherlock Ventures, Longhorn Clements, number 99B, Boom Briggs. And the 20RT, Ricky Thornton Jr. And the Kohler Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Knights Company, Sunoco Racefields, Coleman Farms, Capital Waste, Bilstein, Longhorn Clements, number 20RT. Ricky Thornton Jr. going to be one to watch here in this one. Here comes Boom Briggs in the 99B. Boom will cross the line. 9th quick, 16.043. Blair Nodorf in the 76 will cross the line. Actually, Ricky Thornton will. He'll go 8th quick, 15.804. Blair Nodorf 7th quick, 15.774. Checkered flag in the air for Boom Briggs. He will not improve. Lap 1 better. 10th quick for Boom, 16.043. Ricky Thornton Jr. will not improve. He'll keep lap 1. 8th quick, 15.804. And Blair Nodorf will go 7th quick, 15.774. Chris Madden, Brent Larson, Brandon Shepard, Ethan Dotson, the top 4 here in Group A. Up next, championship contender out of Mooresville, North Carolina, and the Longhorn Clements, Tide Touring, Noss Energy Drink, C&W Trucking, Lone Wolf Petroleum, Holdren Construction, Remtech Industries, Petroff Towing, Bilstein, Tri-Valley Equipment, and Tide Touring Performance Parts. Number 9, the throw from Mooresville, Nick Hoffman, and in the 49 out of Winona, Minnesota, the Gorilla Mill, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Oak Ridge Fabrication, Horman's HVAC, On-Demand Shirts, Longhorn Cornet, number 49, Jake Tim. Out of Americus, Georgia, the Longhorn Vic Hill Custom Performance, Simply Elegant Landscaping, Taylor Trucking Custom Collision Center, number 11, Alan Stick. Nick Hoffman, 4th quick in his opening lap, 15.621. Jake Tim will cross the line, 16th quick, 16.375. Alan Stick will cross the line, 13th quick, 16.136. Does Hoffman go faster? He doesn't. 15.621 in his opening lap, 15.696 on his second lap. Here comes Jake Tim. He will improve a position, 15th quick at a 16.217. And Alan Stick will cross the line. He'll go slower. He'll stay 13th quick at a 16.136. It's Madden, Larson, Shepard, Hoffman, the top 4 after 18. 4 drivers to go. We'll split them into pairs. Out of Chickamauga, Georgia, the Team Zero Race Car, Clements Powered, Risco, Fox Shocks, 888 General Contractors, Klotz Synthetics, Comedic Gasket, Northeastern Fabrication, Otterly Baths, Ace Doran, BSI Well Service, Black Rock Enterprises, number 17M, the Mac Daddy, Dale McDowell, and in the number 1, championship contender out of New Waverly, Texas, the Rocket XR2, Clements Powered, Best Performance Motorsports, Bulk Material Lift, First Class Septic, Coles County Speedway, Roberts B Company, Pole Construction, Anthony's Pizza, Langefelder Mechanical Contractor, Sandy Weld, number 1, Tyler Erb. Dale McDowell, 9th quick, 15.798. Tyler Erb will cross the line in the 1. He'll go 8th quick at a 15.722. Dale McDowell, winner of the Sunshine Nationals here in 2022. He won the season opener. See if Mac Daddy can become the second repeat winner of this event. He'll go 10th quick, 15.798. And Tyler Erb on his final lap. He will not improve, but still stay 8th quick. That will put him 4th in heat race number 2 at a 15.722. Chris Madden tops him here in Group A. He will share the front row with Brandon Shepard in the opening heat of the night. Brett Larson on the pole, heat race number 2 with the 9 of Nick Hoffman. That's your front row in heat race number 3, but of course actually 2 to go. Glenn Stiers out of Ohsweken, Ontario, Canada. The Longhorn Cornet, Glenn Stiers Racing, Ohsweken Speedway. The QR code Genie, Chantarelli Promotions number 0. It's Glenn Stiers, an MD3 Rookie of the Year contender. Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Longhorn Clements, Big Frog Motorsports, Pfeiffer Risk Management, Ocala Restaurant and Supply, New Point Lighting and Design, Dave's Towing, ICS, B&L Construction, Septic Service, Base Racing Fuel, Sun State Traffic Control, number 58V. Stiers will cross the line after issues and hot laps. He'll go 21st quick, 16.532. Opening lap for Dalton Wilson in his MD3 Rookie of the Year campaign, 12th quick, 15.857, 15.857. Checkered flag in the air for the final 2 drivers in Group A. Stiers will improve, 22nd quick, 16.464. And Dalton Wilson, checkered flag out. The Big Frog Motorsports, Viper Risk Management, number 58V. He'll go 12th quick. So no change in the top. It's still going to be Chris Madden and Brandon Shepard on the front row of heat race number 1. And your front row for heat race number 2, Brent Larson and the 9 of Nick Hoffman. Ashton, I want to bring you in real quick if you got your ears here. Cars make their way back to the pit area. This one in the books. Man, Brent Larson, how about this? Starting on the pole of heat race number 2. I've said it for a long time. If you're going to be successful, I feel like you got to be organized. You got to be clean. And he got a new hauler this offseason. They really organized. They really cleaned. Really good start to the season. Good start for him. But, of course, the real storyline, Chris Madden as well. I mean, it's expected so fast last night, and it parlayed into tonight.
Yeah, I think Brent Larson's definitely one that shocked everyone. But in the offseason, him and Matthew definitely put their heads down. And Matthew had some very quick lap times around Volusia Speedway Park yesterday as well. So good start for the Larson pair here. And you know what's even funnier to me, Ruben? Brent Larson and Nick Hoffman, who are best friends off the racetrack, will start side by side in this heat race.
Yeah, of course, Nick Hoffman really good here at Volusia Speedway Park. All those big gators that he has and all the little gators, translating that experience from the dirt car UMP modified into his late model and all the laps he has around here. All right, thank you very much, Ashton. As we get ready for Group B qualifying here, 22 cars. They'll establish the lineups for heats 3 and 4. Getting ready to commence Group B. It's going to be led out by the driver out of Oakwood, Illinois. The Longhorn Vic Hill Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transportation, Cullen Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing and Auto Repair, Fort Knox Safes and Vaults, Steidinger Construction, Ted Browns, Leka Tree Service, River Bottom Dog Training, VP Racing Fuels, Olins, and number 32, Bobby Pierce. In the 20 TC, Tristan Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana. In the Longhorn Spec, Gibson Racing, Vision Woodworks, KEG Sewer Nozzles, Vision Homes, DCE Fabrication, Partis Towing Service, Burt Transmission, FK Rollins, Penske, VP Racing Fuels, Simpson All-Star Performance, number 20 TC, and the 55E. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender Eli Johnson out of Clewiston, Florida. The Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing Performance Napa Total Claim Source, 7 Peak Steel, number 55E. Pierce 15.737. Chamberlain 16.277. Eli Johnson third fastest 16.439. Pierce will go faster, 15.735. Chamberlain will cross the line in the 20 TC. He'll go faster, 16.141. Eli Johnson will keep lap 1, 14.439. Pierce will kick off Group B with the time to beat at a 15.735 for the two-time and defending World of Outlaws champion. Next 3 drivers, you should find the number 7, a Donald McIntosh out of Dawsonville, Georgia, in the Longhorn Vic Hill, Coltman Farms Racing, MPM Marketing, Bill Stein Shocks, LT Service, Special Needs School of Gwinnett, and Autism Awareness, number 7 of Donald McIntosh. In the number 5, joining us in Middleburg, Florida, in the Longhorn Pro Power, Southeast Ship Repair, Whitener's Tractor Service, Ocala Restaurant Supply, DT Welding, Boswell Oil, Jet Concrete Works, Race Car Engineering, number 5, the Magic Man, Mark Whitener. In the number T1, out of Penton, Alabama, the Team Zero Race Car, Vic Hill, Britton Motorsports, CTC Disaster Response, AAA General Contractors, J3 Investment Group, Andy's Towing, number T1, Todd Murrow. Donald McIntosh will cross the line. To the top of the charts goes McIntosh, 15.692. Whitener second quick, 15.727. Todd Murrow sixth quick at a 16.621. Here comes McIntosh in the 7. He'll cross the line, 15.721. Slower that time, as Mark Whitener will also go slower, but those two to the top of the charts. We'll see what Todd Murrow can put together here on lap number 2. He'll go faster, 16.580. He'll go 6th quick. Donald McIntosh now with a time to beat at a 15.692. Of course, now taking the wheel of that Coltman Farms Racing car. We get ready for the next 3 to roll onto the speedway. The number 79, Corey Hedgecock out of Loudon, Tennessee, in the Longhorn Eagle, Hicks Racing, H&A Auto Sales, Swift Spring, Sunoco, VG Performance, Bill Stein and Colin Signs. Number 79, Corey Hedgecock. In his 3rd year with the Outlaws out of Rochester, Minnesota, the Longhorn Pro Power, Ellenberg Construction, Paulson Rock Products, J&S Repair, JCB Equipment, Rochester Chevrolet 63 Club, Yagi Trucking, CBR Drilling. Number 19, Dustin Sorensen. Out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the Longhorn Cornet Elite Ready Mix, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Capital Waste, Horizon Equipment Rentals, Coleman Farms, 5-Star Metal Buildings. Number 114, Jordan Kohler. Corey Hitchcock, 4th quick, 15.834. Dustin Sorensen getting ready for lap number 1. He'll clock in 2nd quick, 15.714 for Dustin Sorensen. Jordan Kohler, 6th quick, 16.018. Hitchcock will not improve. He'll stay 5th quick. That time 16.020. First one better, 15.834. And Dustin Sorensen will stay 2nd quick with lap number 1. 2nd lap slower by a 10th. And Jordan Kohler also keeping lap 1. As Kohler will go 6th. Dustin Sorensen fastest out of the 3. 2nd quick overall in Group B qualifying at a 15.714. Donald McIntosh with the time to beat in Group B, 15.692. Next 3 qualifiers. Joining us out of Brandon, Florida in the Rocket XR2 Clements Powered, Wayne Hammond owned, Michael Lloyd Hauling and Demolition, LTX Home Builders, Borchers Equipment, Race Car Engineering, Atomic Music Group, Multi-Fire Spark Plug Wires, Velocity Manufacturing Group, Fox Shocks, Ballswell Oil, Fast Shafts, number 40B, Kyle Bronson. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of St. Augustine, Florida in the 14, Trey Mills. In the Mills Concrete, Bilstein, H&R Race Engines, FK Robbins VG Performance number 14, and also on the Speedway, the number 6 of the New Deal, Hudson O'Neill in the K&L Rumley Enterprise. D&E Marine Rumley Engineering number 6. Bronson 8th quick, 16.239. Trey Mills 9th quick, 16.360. Here comes Hudson O'Neill. Hudson O'Neill going to go 6th quick at a 15.834. Checkered flag in the air for Bronson. He'll go slower. He'll stay 9th quick with his opening lap at a 16.239. Trey Mills will cross the line. He'll go faster. 10th quick at a 16.325. And final lap for Hudson O'Neill. He will go ahead and keep lap number 1 as well at a 15.834. 6th quick. Hudson the fastest out of the 3 here in that one. It's Donald McIntosh, Dustin Sorensen, Mark Whitener, Bobby Pierce, the top 4 that currently have front row starting spots in heats 3 and 4. Up next, at a College Grove, Tennessee, the Longhorn Clements Best One Tire and Service, Riggs Fiber, Wiles Drive Shafts, Bilstein, M&M Lawn Care, Triune Trailers, Burton Racing Services, number 81, Jason Riggs. In the 76 out of Evans, Georgia, the Longhorn Clements, Riggs Motorsports, Budweiser, Dude White's, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Gronto Southern, R.W. Powell, Big Dog Stump and Tree, SCM, number 76, Brandon Overton. And out there with them out of Sun River, Montana, Michael Leach. In the Longhorn Durham, Dust Pods, Willow Ranch, Rowdy Mood, Hat Company, and Longhorn Dynamics number 09. Opening lap for Jason Riggs, 11th quick at a 16.375. Brandon Overton, 7th quick, 15.917. Opening lap for Michael Leach. He'll cross the line, 15th quick, 16.907. Checkered flag in the air for Riggs, a little high there in turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. He'll keep lap number 1 at a 16.375. Overton will cross the line faster, 7th quick, 15.864. And checkered flag in the air for the 09 of Michael Leach. He will also improve, 14th quick, 16.556 for Michael Leach. Time to beat, still Donald McIntosh at a 15.692. He shares the front row currently with Mark Whitener, and your front row for heat race number 4 at the moment is Dustin Sorensen and Bobby Pierce. Next 3 getting ready to roll into the Speedway. Looks like it might be a trio of outlaws here. Looks like the number 9, T-Mac, Tim McCready out of Watertown, New York, and the Longhorn Clements, Dave Warren Power Sports, Corey Rubber Corporation, Exis Storage, JHI Hydraulics, One Rail, Sherlock Ventures, number 9, along with the 19R, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa, in the Cooney Motorsports, Hoger Trucking, Custom Fabricating and Repair, Carl Chevrolet, Allen's Seamless Gutters, Murdy Farms, VP Racing Fuels, Heartland, and Mel Hamilton Ford Racing, number 19R, and Dennis Erb Jr. In the McBride, Macville, Mac Truck Sales, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Fox Shocks, Riverton Party Store, Kaiser Manufacturing, VP Racing Fuels, PRC, number 28. Tim McCready, 10th quick, 16.184. So no Clay Harris. This makes it a trio of outlaws. Gustin, 8th quick at a 15.980. Here comes Dennis Erb, 12th quick, 16.184. Tim McCready will cross the line in the 9, and he'll go slower, 16.282. First lap, 16.184. 11th quick, Ryan Gustin, your winner here a year ago at the season opener. 5th quick, 15.821. And Dennis Erb Jr. will improve, 10th quick at a 16.046. Donald McIntosh still with a time to beat at a 15.692 over Dustin Sorensen, Mark Whitener, and Bobby Pierce. Ryan Gustin, Corey Hitchcock, Hudson O'Neill, Brandon Overton, Jordan Kohler, and Dennis Erb Jr., the top 10. Final 3 cars here in Group B getting ready to roll onto the Speedway. Of course, we didn't see no Clay Harris. We'll see if he makes his way out, but it looks like Clay Harris may not qualify here this evening, so we'll get ready to see Kyle Strickler at Mooresville, North Carolina, and the AK Race Car, Clements Power, G-Style Transport, Cat Industries, W.L. Marion Plumbing, Donaldson Grading, Jarovitz Motorsport Shock Service, Andy's Towing, Flow Coating, Pro Fabrication, Bill Stein number 8, along with the 23 of Becca Malone, the 14-year-old, just turned 14 this past December at Rock Hill, South Carolina, the Eason Roofing Company, Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, Mid-Atlantic Roofing Supply number 23. Final driver out there joining us out of Oil City, Pennsylvania, in the Virgil Iron and Steel, R&R Enterprises, Eagle Hoist and Winch, Close Racing Supply, winchrental.com, number 24, Tyler Wyant. Strickler, 9th quick, 15.958. Becca Malone, 18th quick, 16.498. Tyler Wyant will cross the line, 16th quick, 16.350. And final lap here in qualifying to Group B. Strickler will cross the line. He'll go slower, stay 9th quick. That time 16.202. First lap 15.9 is better. Becca Malone 19th quick. He'll also keep lap number 1. And the 24, Tyler Wyant, 16th fastest, 16.350 on his opening lap. Slower on lap number 2. Donald McIntosh will share the front row with a 5 of Mark Whitener in heat race number 3. Heat race number 4, your front row is going to be the 19 of Dustin Sorensen and the 32 of Bobby Pierce. Ashton, Donald McIntosh looking really, really good here in that Coleman Farms Racing number 7M. Mark Whitener representing Florida really well, and a pair of veterans lead us in heat race number 4.
Yeah, Donald McIntosh came off the racetrack and he said, hey man, we'll take it. New year, new team, and now it's quick time. That's got to feel really good, huh?
Man, what a cool opportunity this is to come out and go quick time in our group. I really didn't expect it. I can't thank these guys enough. Brett Coltman, Randall, Travis, Tyler. It's been a long few weeks to put this deal together, but to know we got a really good hot rod, I'm really looking forward to this season.
Safe to say Donald McIntosh and this Coltman Farm teams are clicking early on in the 2026 season, Ruben.
Yeah, Donald McIntosh quickest in Group B, but quickest overall here this evening at a 15.376 for the 36th time in his career, who is 6th on the all-time quick times list. That is Chris Smokey Madden, as he had the overall quick time here this evening, and of course gets extra money courtesy of Simpson Racing Products for getting that Simpson Products quick time. 15.376 for Chris Smokey Madden. That's going to do it for qualifying for the World of Outlaw Late Models presented by DIRTVision. Up next, 6:04 late model hot lap qualifying, and we have a lot of late models at Late Model Palooza, right? That's why we love the Sunshine Nationals. With the call, my good friend Cody Early. Cody, it's going to be a good one, my friend.
Thank you, Ruben. Indeed, 102 the official count now, or at least that's what my race pass has stopped at for the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Winter Shootout Series 604 late models. 4 different groups, and how things work tonight for these drivers will be very similar tonight and tomorrow night. As a matter of fact, identical. Drivers will earn points based on finishing positions from tonight and tomorrow night's qualifying features. The top 20 overall points after the first 2 nights, they find themselves locked into the Saturday night 10,000 to win main event. So you do your work tonight and tomorrow night, then you're sitting pretty when the sun comes up on Saturday for championship day here at the Sunshine Nationals. Drivers 21st or lower, well, they're going to have to go into some last chance showdowns. They'll have to earn their way into the tail end of that big field on Saturday. And man, what a field it's going to be with 102 cars in attendance. More than half the field will load up and be headed towards the house on Saturday when we line up that main event. This is race weekend number 3 for the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Winter Shootout Series. Fresh off of a visit just last weekend to the Henry County Motorsports Park in Clewiston, Florida, Diesel Jones picked up the biggest win of his career, picked up a $12,000 payday last weekend in the Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing 100, found himself going to victory lane. Michael Page scored the season opening win back on January 3rd in the Ice Bowl at the Talladega Short Track. Points coming in, Diesel Jones with that win last weekend. He currently sits atop the standings, a tie for second. Michael Page and Colton Herbert, they both set 10 points out after that second race last weekend. Marty Massey fourth, Austin Storm rounds out the top 5. Those and many more are on hand this weekend, and man, 102 total 604s. That's up 75 last last year, 69 back in 24, 67 in 23. So each year that number has grown. I know Ruben mentioned in the opening the fact of the way the season has started. Everybody is itching to race. A lot of folks may be running away from a winter storm that's getting ready just above us to roll through the southeast. Nonetheless, the field of cars and the competition here is very steady, and it's a mixed bag of super late model drivers, crate racing regulars, and some folks trying to cut their teeth and maybe make their first chance to win this event. When it comes to all-time visits, 24 features have officially been scored for the Winners Shootout Series here at Volusia. You have to go back to that very first feature back on January the 16th of 2020, and that went to none other than Kyle Bronson. As a matter of fact, you had to flip the calendar to 2021 before you seen somebody else win an event here in the 604 late model division. Michael Page won the event in 2021, turned to ride it back around, and Kyle Bronson won the feature again the next night. So as a matter of fact, the first two nights of this event, when it comes to the Sunshine Nationals, they both went to Kyle Bronson. Fellow Florida driver Mark Whitener scored the overall event win in 2022. Mother Nature won the event, the overall event in 2023 when it comes to the 604 late models. And then things have changed a little bit. The Sunshine State the last couple of years have not been able to score the victories. Matt Henderson, the Tennessee driver, picked up the win in 2024. And most recently, 1 year ago, Ethan Wilson went to victory lane in 2025. Matt Henderson, Ethan Wilson, both in attendance for the 604 late model division. They will both have a chance to possibly pick up their second Sunshine Nationals. If they do, they would tie Kyle Bronson all time. A lot of drivers do have preliminary feature wins here, a long list of those, and a lot of those are in attendance. So we could be seeing somebody possibly pick up their second, maybe their third preliminary feature win. But when it's all said and done, a stacked field all the way through the 102 cars that will make up this field of 604 late models. Should be 25 in the first two groups, 24 and 24 in the second and third. Now, how the field kind of cooperates, Bob talked about it earlier. They're racing against the other drivers in this group. So qualifying Group A, you're not up against the other 101 drivers. You're up against the other 24. Fastest overall qualifier in our My Race Pass Fantasy Racing Hot Lap qualifying. Well, hey, you set the pole for your feature later on tonight. And, of course, as you qualify, that's how you'll line up when you come back for those features event. I mentioned My Race Pass. Make sure you go to My Race Pass, type in Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. That's Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. Click on the fantasy icon and you can play along. Keep up with points all season long. Add up the points, become the champion at the end of the Winter Shootout Series. Just simply use the My Race Pass app, click on the fantasy icon, and type in Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. 102 options for you here tonight to make your picks on the fantasy world. So it looks like qualifying Group A is remotely close, or at least it looks remotely close to be possibly coming out onto the racetrack. We should see six to eight cars. We'll see how many they'll max out. With 102 of them in attendance, we'll see just how many of them actually come out. Looks like qualifying Group A and Group B might actually be the ones they put here on the pit road on the front straightaway here at Volusia Speedway Park. Of course, over the years, this racetrack opened back in 1968. It was a sandy quarter mile back in the day, and then, of course, the half-mile size came in 1982. They paved this thing. I actually listened on my way down here, had the headphones on, Bob. I actually listened to Kenny Wallace's NASCAR Busch Series race win here at this, and it was pretty cool to hear this racetrack with asphalt back in the day.
Absolutely. And you ask Kenny Wallace what his favorite racetrack is? Volusia Speedway Park.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to hear, just to hear the difference in a asphalt version of this facility. So, but we're all very thankful that it went back to dirt in the 90s and it stayed that way. So the world's fastest half mile. So it looks like we are inching closer to getting Group A ready to go on the racetrack. Two drivers in this first flight of cars that will hit out on the racetrack qualifying Group A are in the top 5 in the Winter Shootout Series points. Austin Storm and Marty Massey, will see both of them come out as they are respectively 8th and 16th in the order for their qualifying effort. So as they finalize, looks like they are working on, I believe it's 21st through 25th. They've got everybody pretty much lined up in this first group. Once we get this first group going, they'll move them up, and then we'll, of course, fill in behind the second qualifying group. First car to the racetrack. First car will be the driver out of Lynchburg, Virginia, the 2020 Cash Money 100 winner at Natural Bridge. In the 7, it's going to be Justin Williams. Justin Williams will be the first car out of the racetrack. Behind him in Newport, Tennessee, the DJ Performance TNC Mining Construction Smith Motors High-Tech Coating number 8. That is Josh Henry. Josh Henry in the 8. Behind him in the 7, out of Appomattox of Virginia, the Earl Ramey Longhorn Mr. Payne, VP Racing Fuels, New Market Asphalt, number 7, it is Corey Allman. Corey Allman in the 7. Also on the racetrack, Hayden Cardwell out of Knoxville, Tennessee, the DJ Performance CVR, Vintage Landscape, Vintage Enterprise, Andy Neal Trucking, number 17. And the final car to hit the racetrack going to be the 26. That will be Adam Bidabaugh. He's out of Lake City, Florida, in that 26. So we'll see how things shape up. Justin Williams right now top of the board, 17.162. That's fastest overall. Everybody comes through for the first time. Second time for Williams. His second lap is slower, so he's going to have to stay with that 17.162. Everybody else's second lap as of right now is going to stay slower as well. Hayden Cardwell, he does the same. He'll go up second, 17.308 for Hayden Cardwell. So Cardwell, one of the only 2 drivers that pick up on lap number 2. Overall track record, 16.786. Cole Platt has that. He did that 1 year ago here at Volusia Speedway Park. So 16.786 is that track record. So we'll get ready for the next group of cars. So they sent 5 cars out. Tyler Thompson, he'll be the first car in this next flight out of Phoenix City, Alabama. The GM-powered Longhorn, Tim Thomason Construction Landscaping, Racing Zone number 7. He'll be the first car. Oh, never mind, they swap it up. It'll be Austin Storm be the first car out of West Monroe, Louisiana, the wall-to-wall BMF Storm Services LLC, Mac Heating and Cooling, Mac Builders number 17, the 2-time United States Racing Association mod winner. He'll be the first car to the racetrack. Also out there with him in the 16 at Fort Payne, Alabama, the Hendred Longhorn, Code Marine, JR Landscaping, Baird Racing Farm Systems number 16. That is Sam Seawright. Sam Seawright in the 16. The 17, that will be Brett Gray out of Temple, Georgia. Brett Gray out of Temple, Georgia in the 17. And the final car, I do believe, in this group, go to the 18, that's Jesse Antapa. Jesse Antapa in the 18 out of West Palm Beach, Florida. The Hendry-powered Longhorn, Impact Electrical Services, Universal Grabbing Systems, Turbo Blueprint number 18. Tyler Thompson right now, he'll be the quickest out of this second flight of cars, 17.372 for Thompson. Brett Gray, 7th fastest, 17.702. There you see the field come right underneath the flag stand. Fastest in that group will indeed be Tyler Thompson at a 17.372. He's fastest in that group. Brett Gray was 7th, Austin Storm was 8th, and Tapa was 9th. So 2 flights in. 10 cars officially taking time. This next group will put us halfway into qualifying Group A for the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crit Racing USA Winter Shootout Series. Should be seeing the 4 of Billy Boyd Jr. out of Riverview, Florida, the H&R Kryptonite, Boyd's Renovations, Integra Shocks, Thunder Bay Construction number 4. He will be the first car that comes out into this group. Behind him, the 43 out of Mechanicsville, Maryland. By the way, 11 hours and 47 minutes, so let's just call it 12 hours away. The Hendry-powered Rocket, Quality Auto and Body Collision, Dane Guy Masonry, Lifehouse Restaurant and Dock Bar, number 43, that is Jarrett Edwards. Behind him in the 23, that'll be Toby Sims out of Elkton, Florida. The Kenny Lamb-powered Rocket, Capital Concrete, Nelson Plumbing, Stuart Witt Farms, number 23. Oh, we got one that's lost a wheel. Up the top side of turns 3 and 4, and the caution flag will come out. And just as I went through that with Toby Sims, he lost one of those all-important Hoosier tires. That is more than likely, I would think, maybe the right front, and it made its way all the way to turn 4. It almost started the qualifying lap for him, but not quite. Other cars on the racetrack, the 22 of Jeremy Steele over off of turn number 2, the driver that currently sets as the national champion from 1 year ago at York, South Carolina, the Hendry-powered Longhorn by Wesley Page, XL Grading and Waterproofing, Wesley Page Racing Shocks, LJ Designs, Intense Graphic, Indoxil Art, number 22. 5 wins for him 1 year ago on the national tour. He picked up the Rookie of the Year award. He now sets with only 2 other drivers, Corey Hitchcock and Ashton Winger, the only 2 to ever win the Rookie of the Year in the championship. And there you get a look on DIRTVision. You see that tire completely come off the 23. You'll see a good look at it right here, I do believe. Well, you see the tire. Here's another look. This is going into turn 3, and wow, I do believe that might have been the right rear. From that angle, it looked like the right rear tire was the one that come off the 23. Needless to say, they'll get him hooked to the tow truck and pulled away. So first time we see the Whelen Engineering caution lights come out around Volusia Speedway Park. And there you see the tire. Tim Clark, another driver out on the racetrack out of Kennesaw, Georgia. The Vincent Racing Engine Capital, Mid-South Painting, Dirt Chasers, All-South Graphics, Jeff Smith Racing, number 22. There you see Jeremy Steele on your screen. He won 3 straight races at the end of the national tour last year and went on to win that championship. Him and Joseph Brown had a whale of a championship run last year. Both of them top 2 all the way through the end of the season. Of course, the 2026 edition of the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crit Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series season, that schedule, it is done. I would be looking for that this weekend, and there is a lot of money to be had in 2026, the biggest paying year yet for America's leader in racing. If you've got a crate car, all 102 of you, we'd love to see you all season long on the road. That tour, I wouldn't be shocked to see that schedule come out this weekend. So looks like they have work to get. Toby Sims hooked up to the tow truck. Good thing for Toby. He can go back, put the tire back on the car, start at the back of the feature tonight and try to get him some points, and then come back tomorrow and do it again. That is the good thing about having the 2 qualifying days before that championship Saturday. So his weekend not completely over just yet. So the green flag getting ready to come back out. We're getting ready to pick it back up and go back to full speed. Right now, setting atop, Justin Williams. He was the first car out, 17.162. He sets atop of the speed charts. There you see Tim Clark in the 22. Officially back underway. Nobody has a time in this group yet, so everybody's getting a fresh start. As we'll see if anybody can take Justin Williams off of the pole of that feature later on tonight. Jeremy Steele, his first lap, 6th fastest for Jeremy. As out of turn 4 we go. We'll see what Tim Clark can do. His first lap, he'll come across the board. Tim Clark's going to be 8th fastest. So final time for Jeremy Steele. Billy Boyd 13th fastest. Steele's going to stay 6th, so he is slower on lap number 2. And Clark's second lap. Oh, Tim Clark jumps up into 6th spot, so he'll knock Jeremy Steele down 1. Clark goes 17.563. And Boyd's final lap will keep him in the 13th spot at an 18.115. So 13 cars officially taking time halfway through. My Race Pass Fantasy Racing Hot Lap Qualifying Group A. First car out of this next flight should be the driver out of Douglasville, Georgia. Currently sets 4th in the winter shootout. They're going to change it on me. See how that works? Matt Henderson making his debut in 2026. Behind the wheel of the Eagle Power BMF, Reed Construction Services, Hoosier Tire South, CH Enterprises, number 23, 95 career Crate Racing USA National Tour starts, 7 of those for Victory Lane. For Matt Henderson, behind him out of Douglasville, Georgia, the Eagle Power Capital, Marty Massey Towing, Newsom Ink Screen Printing, SCCS Solutions, number 15, that is Marty Massey. Also on the racetrack, that'll be the 18G. That'll be Ricky Green out of Newton, North Carolina. The Earl Ramey Longhorn, New Arrow, Johnny Rogers, Pro Fabrication Headers. Pro Late Model National winner back in 2021. There you see him in the 18 car. Also on the racetrack, Matthew Porter, and he rips it right in front of your screen there. He's out of Austinville, Virginia. The Earl Ramey Longhorn, Potter Services, Western Excavation, Bigfoot Enterprises, number 19 for Matthew Porter. And Trent Lloyd out of Jacksonville, Florida, the Rydell Racing Engine Longhorn, North Florida Field and Excavating, Dependable and Well-Pumped Services, D&H Concrete Construction Services, number 2. Trent Lloyd, second quick, 17.215 for Lloyd. got close. He's the closest one to get to Justin Williams yet. Ricky Green was good enough to get into the top 10. He was 8th fastest. Matt Henderson, 4th quick, 17.323 for Matt. So it is still Justin Williams who hit the racetrack first, sitting atop of that leaderboard right now. Mark Underwood, Louisiana driver. He's out of Ruston, Louisiana, the Eagle-powered Rocket. Floorworks, TEC Services, Bobby's Body Shop, 125. Behind him, another one of the drivers that's traveled a long ways. New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, 14 hours for Matt Adams. And the Eagle-powered Rocket, Adam & Son HVAC, Superior Home in Lancaster. Everlasting Impressions Jewelry, number 91. That is a long time in a car. Billy Boyd Sr., Riverview, Florida, H&R powered Kryptonite. Boyd Services, Integra Shocks, Thunder Bay Construction, number 3. And the 25, that'll be Donnie Chappelle out of St. Augustine, Florida. And the H&R powered Sniper, Next Level Mod, Carolina Auto Direct, True Patriots, number 25, the 2-time Ultimate Dirt Late Model Challenge Series winner. We'll see the white flag on this group. We'll see if anybody can touch Justin Williams' top time. Mark Underwood, 16th fastest right now. Matt Adams was 22nd. Billy Boyd Sr., 21st. Checkered flag coming out this time around. Donnie Chappelle will see his 19th fastest for Donnie. So at a 17.162, Lynchburg, Virginia's Justin Williams will stand the test of time and find himself atop a Group A qualifying for the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Winter Shootout Series, and that will be the time we stay with for now. We'll see if he can hang on to that. If he does, he will pick up the Bama Sheds and Pole Barns Pole Award for the fastest overall time. Still got quite a few cars still to go. Qualifying Group B will get ready to assemble. Looks like for the most part they are ready to go. 25 cars deep. Only one driver in this group, or actually 2 drivers in this group, set inside of the top 5 of the points, including our points leader. We'll get to him in just moments. So here we go. First car out will be the 8. That'll be Bubba Whitener. Bubba Whitener will be the first car that we see out onto the racing surface out of Middleburg, Florida. Of course, the son of Mark. Davey Klein, he'll be the 71. That's who we'll see next. Out of St. Augustine, Florida, the Earl Ramey Black Diamond God's Country. First Coast Site Prep, number 71. And behind him, a former National Tour champion. Out of Hawkinsville, Georgia, the H&R Barry Wright Icon Limerick Truck and Equipment, Twin Pine Stables, L&S Angus, number 5, the Hawkinsville Hustler. That's the 5 of Will Harrington. Will Harrington in the 5. Here's the guy that set the fastest overall time down at Henry and led a portion of the race out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They were on race DMC, Valley Electric, Snyder's Trucking, Valley Security Systems, Stan's Transmissions, number 56. Running for the Rush Rookie of the Year this year, that is Christian Snyder. Christian Snyder in the 56. Top of the board, 17.453 for Christian Snyder. Mason Massey was actually second, so they swapped that up. I'm thinking that was supposed to be Marty, but Mason was the one that got the credit for the time. Will Harrington, 3rd fastest. Bubba Whitener, 4th. So we'll get ready to roll the next flight of cars, and it should be our points leader. Out of Alabaster, Alabama, the biggest win of this young man's career came just 1 weekend ago in the Race Tech Capital. A to Z Auto Repair and Towing, Kaiser Manufacturing, Integral Racing Shocks, Spring Pro number 46. That will be Diesel Jones. Diesel Jones in that 46. Behind him in Knoxville, Tennessee, the CT-powered CVR, Jesse's State Farm. FBR Racing, PPM Racing Products, number 07. That'll be Bailey Cardwell. Bailey Cardwell in the 07. Behind him, the guy that owns the track record here, 16.786. Out of Callahan, Florida, the H&R Rocket, AB and AB Manufacturing, Fillbuster Charts, Mills Consulting, number 44. That is Cole Platt. Cole Platt in the 44. And behind him, a former National Rookie of the Year out of Rome, Georgia. The Ingram Powered GRT, Bama Shed Short Track Parts, Ingram Racing Products, GRT Race Cars, number 99. That is Super Mario Gresham. Mario Gresham in the 99. And the final car out onto the racetrack should be the 44 out of Blackshear, Georgia. That'll be Cam Boyd in the Extreme Powered Rocket XR1. Brad Boyd Construction, Boswell Oil Company, Samick Septic Service, number 44. Diesel Jones, top of the board. 17.412. He'll bring the momentum from Henry County into Volusia, and he does it long enough for Mario Gresham to take it away. 17.354 for Mario. Cole Platt was 7th fastest in that. Cam Boyd was 9th quick. Bailey Cardwell 10th. So Mario Gresham, there you see him on your screen. 17.354 for Mario. That will have him top of the board. Still not overall fastest. That still belongs to Justin Williams out of that first group. Next cars out on the racetrack. It's going to be Ivan Lloyd out of Ocala, Florida, piloting the 07. He'll be the first car out of this next group. Behind him in the 121, Pearson Lee Williams. Pearson Lee Williams make his way out onto the racing surface out of Dublin, Georgia, the Dunaway CBR. Williams Body Shop, Win Land Development, Penske Racing Shocks, Finish Line Electric, number 121. He had the 21 on it earlier last season. He's went back to running the 121. There's Caleb Gay, a former Winter Freeze champion, another Southern All-Stars and Rookie of the Year out of Dublin, Georgia, in the 3 car this weekend. Skylar Marler out of Winfield, Tennessee, this Great Racing Engine Technologies, Longhorn, Superior Drywall, Ramey & Son Excavating, PPM Racing Products, MarlerAuto.com, 257. And the final car in this group, that'll be the 14. It'll be Kate Brookshire out of Calhoun, Georgia, the Twisted Performance Capital, the Biscuit Box, Precision Seamless Guttering, Martin Family Dentistry, number 14. Pearson Lee Williams, top of the board, 17.269. So Pearson Lee to the top. Skylar Marler was 8th quickest in that group. He was 2nd fastest in that group, 8th fastest overall. Ivan Lloyd 11th on the board. Jack Brown, 15 years of age, out of Lexington, Virginia, the Henry Power Longhorn, Austin Electrical Construction, Blake Construction, Cooper and Lee Auto Repair, Rock Tech, number 26. He'll lead the way out in this group. Behind him out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Race City Savage, Big Frog Transportation, Base Race Fuels, Dave's Towing, Gardner Energy Services, the Big Perm, that is Dalton Wilson. Dalton Wilson in the CO2. Another guy regular in the super late models behind him out of Clover, South Carolina. In the GM Powered Longhorn, Personally Grading, JP Environmental, Dover Landscaping, Farmer Service Center, 09, that's the boss, Ross Bales. Ross Bales in the 09. Behind him in the 94 to DeLand, Florida, the Ramey Powered Warrior, Crush Supply, Terra Allen, Morgan's Group, Sunoco Race Fuels, Southern Race Fuels, number 94, that is Holden Allen. Holden Allen in the 94, and the final car in this group in the 51. He'll come out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. That'll be Mac McCarter in the Phantom Powered 51 race car. Parkway Liquor, McBarter Farms, Afterorder Performance, H&R Concrete, number 51. Ross Bales, top of the board, 17.268. Dalton Wilson, 5th fastest, 17.446. So those were the top 2 times out of that group. 5 cars left here in Group B, getting ready to hit the halfway point of our My Race Pass Fantasy Racing Hot Lap qualifying. First car should be the 17. You want to talk about traveling some miles? How about 23 hours and 17 minutes from Harrisburg, South Dakota? In the Henry Powered Longhorn, Harris Dent Repair, Longhorn Chassis. That is John Winchie, the 2024 King of Dirt winner back at I-95. He'll be the first car in this group. Behind him, the youngster out of McIntyre, Georgia, the Ingram Powered Capital, Bloodworth Pallet Company, Simply Fresh Foods, Beasley Group, Battle Lumber Company, number 24. That is Austin Bloodworth. Austin Bloodworth in the 24. Behind him in the 13 out of Dublin, Georgia, the 441 Speed of Machine, Rocket, Matthews Construction, Big M's Auction Company, Sutherland River Transport, number 13 of Landon Matthews. Landon Matthews in the 13. Behind him, Matt Herlong out of Alarica, Florida, the H&R Powered Rocket, Matco Modular Services, Central Florida Dirt Works and Demolition, Jams Creation, 131. Never Everybody getting their white flag lap right now. There you see the guy currently tied for second. He won the season opener at Talladega. Out of Douglasville, Georgia, the Eagle Powered Rocket, Barrett Motorsports, Cove to Cove, Fun Tool, ML Performance 18X of Michael Page. So we will see. My race pass decided it wanted to refresh on me. So the 09 of Ross Bales still sitting atop overall. So that will do it for Group B. We'll await to get an official time on that. Ross Bales was at a 17.268. So we'll see if that will stand. It looks like it refreshes now, and indeed it will. Ross Bales will be fastest in qualifying Group B. Pearson Lee Williams second. Mario Gresham third. Diesel Jones fourth. And the big perm Dalton Wilson will round out the top 5 times. Austin Bloodworth, not a bad lap for him either. Top 10 time, 9th quickest for Austin Bloodworth. So they will clean out Group A and Group B from the infield. We will work them out as qualifying Group C and D will make their way onto the racing surface. We'll tell you about the folks that make this series go up and down the road. A tremendous support group when it comes to the sponsors. Of course, Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts, the title sponsor. If you're looking for a 604 or a 602, make sure you get in touch with them. They'll get you squared away with everything you need when it comes to power plants. Check out Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts, the title sponsor of course, not only the Winter Shootout Series, but, of course, the National Tour as well. Chevrolet Performance, Hoosier Racing Tires, of course, the Hoosier Racing Tire trailer just outside of turns 1 and 2. VP Racing Fuels, of course, the VP truck here as well. Just some of the great folks that make this series go up and down the road. And a big thank you to each and every one of them that has made Crate Racing USA America's leader in racing. So they continue to filter out Group A and Group B of our qualifying groups. Of course, they will make up 4 20-lap, 1,500 to win features later on tonight. Of course, those features, as we told you, it's all about making points, all about getting as much as you can tonight and tomorrow night, and setting yourself up to be in really good position come Saturday when they hand out those big checks. So fastest overall time right now still belongs to the very first car that hit the racetrack, Justin Williams, 17.162. That's the fastest time right now. That's after 50 cars have taken time. We'll see if that time will stand true as Group C. They work to finalize that lineup. As there you see the rest of the cars coming over the top. So as a matter of fact, I think I'm seeing a couple that we did not even have. We might have more. Bob, we might have more than 102. I'm seeing some on the screen that we do not have on my race pass. So we may have some extras to add to the starting field. So Group C and Group D qualifying groups lining up on the pit road. Here on the front straightaway, there you get a good look at that pit road. It kind of looks like rush hour traffic on Interstate 75 right now, trying to figure out where they're supposed to be, but there's actually some organized chaos to a lot of this. So we'll get all the cars at least tucked into the pit road. Once we get everybody in, then we can go ahead and get underway, and we'll pick it up and they'll line them up as we go. Of course, when it comes to the points with the series, tonight and tomorrow night, these 2 qualifying features, you get to take your best feature of the 2 nights. So instead of having 3 features to count towards championship points, you get to count whichever one of these prelim features is the best for you on the weekend. That goes towards your points. And then, of course, all the points gained on Saturday goes towards that championship hunt. Of course, the championship hunt next weekend, Volusia Speedway. That's where we'll be. Weekend number 4. We'll be down there, of course, for the Southern Georgia Showdown. 2,000 to win on Friday, 3,000 to win on Saturday, alongside of the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series Super Late Models. Volusia Speedway next weekend, Norman Park, Georgia, just right across the Florida line. We'd love to have you next weekend. And then the series takes a break until February the 28th when we wrap up the Winter Shootout Series, and we'll do so at the Cochran Motor Speedway on February the 28th. 4,000 to win in that final show of the year. For more information about America's leader in racing, check out CrateRacingUSA.com. That's CrateRacingUSA.com. Facebook, X, Instagram, all that good stuff. So they are finishing rolling cars around. We're going to get everybody filtered in, and then we'll get them all on the pit road. Might have been a trivia question, Bob. How many cars can you fit on pit road at one time? Maybe that should have been something we figured out. Looks like for the most part, we have got almost everybody out of that turn 4 gate. Once we get everybody into the infield, then they can line them up for there, and we can take off with qualifying Group C. So we'll get these cars filtered in. Of course, the World of Outlaw late models will have heat races coming up, side-by-side action on, and this track itself just looks amazing compared to what it did 1 year ago on opening night of the Sunshine Nationals. The way the dirt's laying down, it just absolutely looks like a sporty surface, as we'll have those heat races coming up.
You know, Cody, you mentioned the surface here at Volusia. They took actually around 70 loads off of the speedway before they added 300 plus loads of new clay to the speedway.
Oh, no, let me do that math.
Okay.
so 75 off and 3.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, it's amazing. This track surface now, everybody that comes here now says it's the old Volusia. And they got the clay right up the road 10 miles from in Bunnell, I think, somewhere. So pretty cool.
So took 75 off and added how many back
300
on?
plus.
Wow.
Yeah, I came out here a couple times, and they just take the dump trucks and they start in a corner and they just keep dumping. And then Larry and Clayton and a bunch of other guys on the equipment. I think Boom Briggs was here actually helping them also, and they did an outstanding job. And what a summer we had here. Great racing all year long. And like I said, the guys that came for the annual Ruderman, they were just raving about this new surface. And of course, they'll be in action here for the annual Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals here in a week or so.
Yeah, you guys are really getting to test this surface out early in the year. You're getting
absolutely
to see really what it's made of. So looks like a few more cars left to filter into the pit road, and we will be ready for qualifying Group C to make its way out onto the racetrack. Of course, a $4,000 check goes to the overall Winter Shootout Series champion. And that points fund paying out the top 10. Of course, a Rookie of the Year points fund to go along with that in the 11th season. Last year, Sam Seawright was the overall Winter Shootout Series champion. Will Rowland the year before that. Back-to-back Corey Hitchcock years in 2022 and 2023. He's one of only 2 drivers to ever win this Winter Shootout Series championship twice. Jimmy Elliott did it back in 2018 and 2019. So about 7 cars left way down there in turn 4. You can see it way on your DIRTVision screen. You see those cars that are still kind of tailing out on the racetrack. Once we get them inside of those yellow barriers, we should be able to pick up and go into Group C. 24 cars should make up what is Group C of our qualifying. It's a good time to remind you, if you haven't set your fantasy lineups, do it now. Go to the My Race Pass app, type in Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series, hit that fantasy icon on the bottom right. You can just simply pick the Cruiser Late Models and make your picks. Of course, the goal is to, obviously, everybody gets a feature tonight, everybody gets a feature tomorrow. But the obvious goal is to get as many points as you can. 3 opportunities this weekend to do so. So once we squeeze Corey Neal Jr. off of the racing surface and get him inside of these yellow tires down here in turn 4, we should be able to start rolling. And the first few cars to hit the racetrack for qualifying Group C. Josh Vineyard, one of the Kentucky drivers. Danville, Kentucky will be the first car we should see out on the racetrack. The Harris Racing Engine Longhorn Ohio Steel, Kentucky Steel. Josh Vineyard Motorsports, Brandon Moore Racing, J&K Automotive, number 18. should be the first car that we see make its way out onto the racetrack. The other driver will be out of Waxahachie, Texas. Sounds like the town you'd have to have a cowboy hat in just to live there. Landon Lakowski will be the driver. The Hinder-powered Barry Wright, Fierce Technologies, Barry Wright Icon Service Transport Incorporated, BT Energy, BJ1 Motorsports. He was 5th a year ago in the Carolina Clash Super Late Model points. That was his rookie season on the Super Late Model things. Nick Johnson behind him out of LeChute, Florida. H&R Powered Longhorn, Driscoll Engineering, Clark Construction Group, AAG Racing, Premier Lawn Care number 9. Blake Clauser out of Lake Helen, Florida in the H&R Powered Barry Wright Icon, WJ Industries, Flexo Marine Services, 721. He was with us at Henry County. Hard Charger, as a matter of fact. Picked up the Scorpion Race Cars Hard Charger Award at Henry County. Behind him in the 87, that's going to be Jake Rainey out of Powder Springs, Georgia. And the Henry-powered Rocket XR1, GAC Electrical, Clark Enterprises, Carcel Spray Foam, Rainey Brothers Sealing and Insulation 87. Oh, Jake's smoking. Uh-oh, and that's not good. That's that not-so-good smoke puffing out of the 87. We've stayed green, so we should be able to get this group to go on as far as timing and scoring goes, and I am not seeing timing and scoring pop up. Right now, I'll go off the scoreboard. Nick Johnson has the fastest time right now. Blake Clauser would be your second fastest time. And that smoke's still lingering down there in turn 4. So Johnson, he has the fastest time, with Blake Clauser second. And Landon Zakowski would be the third fastest time right now. And there you see them all going under the hood of the 87. That's the throwback wrap for Jake Rainey. I do believe that's a throwback to Derek Rainey's wrap. Old school. So good to see Jake. I hate to see that happen. There you see Derek. He's right there in the white hat looking underneath the hood. Jake's there in the driver, getting out of the car in the white driver's suit. That's the first flight here in qualifying Group C has commenced with the 9 of Johnson still on top of the leaderboard. And we'll wait to get our next group of cars out onto the racing surface. Good thing is Jake was right there at that turn 4 entrance. He was able to hang a left and get that car off the surface before putting down any extra fluid. It looked like the track officials was looking around, and they're trying to squeeze everybody back into that turn 4 now. And here's your DIRTVision replay. Watch this. Hangs a left. So I'm hearing possibly there might have been a fire that comes out from underneath the hood. We'll see. Oh, yes. There's no possible to that. That one is rather hot. So I hate that for Jake and the crew. We'll get our next cars to make their way out onto the racetrack. Tim Swartz in the 31 out of Ormond Beach, Florida, the Earl Ramey Masterbuilt, A+ Medical Building, Gas Construction Outdoors Escapes number 31. He'll be the first car. Behind him, Gregory Carrico out of Winchester, Virginia, the Ingram-powered Kryptonite, Exceptional Wildlife Removal, Red Lock Tile, Hosky Performance, Integra Shocks, Volusia Speedway number 67 for Gregory Carrico. There's the winner of this event 1 year ago. That's Ethan Wilson in the 00 out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Eagle Longhorn factory car. The winner of this event 1 year ago. Brought home the big money. See if he can do it again this weekend. There's the 2. That's Zach Carley out of Freedom, New York, the 955 Automotive Rocket XR 1.2. And Carley Motorsports Blend Concrete Plants number 2. It's a sharp-looking race car. Nick Johnson, top of the board right now, 17.499. Ethan Wilson, second quick on lap number 1. Blake Clauser's third fastest right now. There you see Ethan Wilson, 17.673. Ethan, second fastest overall. Out of our 2 flights that have been here in Group C, the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crit Racing USA Winter Shootout Series qualifying. As we mentioned, the fastest overall time will be titled the Bama Sheds and Pole Barns Pole Award. And you can have some bragging rights. Say you were the fastest out of 102 cars. So next car is getting ready to roll out. I think that is the 44 of Hayden Omby. We'll see. So we've jumped out of order. That's the only 44 that I have, unless that is Cale Green. We'll see, and it might be, as we got track officials on the racetrack. And now we don't. So we'll see everybody pick up to speed now. Kyle Hardy, he'll be the first car out of turn 4. There you see Kyle, the last ever Winter National 604 winner at East Bay. He did that back in 2024. Final time we went there, he was the final one to take home the victory lane. There is Todd Brewster, the muscle man out of Villa Rica, Georgia, the Eagle-powered Laser. Threads of the South Solid Ground Apparel. Brewster's built number 18, 2015 Cajun Mini Stock winner at Sonoa. There is Chase Giddens in the 12 out of Moultrie, Georgia, the 441 Speed Shop Capital. Brothers on the side, Brian Pivoter directors. Triple C Asphalt and Seal Coating number 12. Hayden Omby, second fastest in the 44. And there is Maverick Davidson out of Winston, Georgia, the Bishop Power Capital. Top Guard Exterior, Silver Streak Equipment Services, 18X number 1. And there is Hayden Omby. Thought that might be him out of Cleveland, Tennessee, the Phantom Powered Masterbuilt Auto Depot, Tennessee Services, MX Motors number 44. Second fastest for Hayden Omby at a 17.583. Nick Johnson still at the top with a 17.499. Ethan Wilson now third. Kyle Hardy good enough to get into the top 5. He's fourth with Maverick Davidson fifth. So I think Tim Swartz's transponder was not working. They've pushed him back to the front of the line. So Tim's going to get a do-over. And he'll be the first car that comes out. Behind him, the recently crowned two-time National Weekly Champion. Out of Seminary, Mississippi, the wall-to-wall Longhorn, DRW Contracting LLC, Extreme Graphics, Gator Hauling, Shelton Steel Services, a 2024 winner of the All-American 6C over at Jackson. That's David Williamson. David Williamson in the 28. Behind him, out of Clay Hill, Florida, the H&R Powered Capital, Malloy Grading, VP by Boswell Oil, Pipeline Construction, Leaves Trees Debris, Kudzu Trucking, Three Liberties Trucking, the 515. That is the Ghost, the 2023 track champion here at Alltech. That's Bubba Rolling. Bubba Rolling in the 515. Behind him in the 85, that's Corey North. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia, the Henry Powered Capital, J-Core Trailer Sales, Country Financial by Beasley Agency, Jameson Construction, Hilton Mechanical, number 85, the winner of the Sweet Home Alabama Classic Prelim at Penton in the 85 car. And there is the 2, I believe that's Leighton Sullivan, new wrap for Leighton, out of Gaffney, South Carolina. The G Engineering XL, SCP Trucking, Nichols Plumbing, Turkey Towing, Hamricks of Gaffney, number 2, the winner of the Daniel Lambert Memorial at Screven 1 year ago. Bubba Rolling, top of the board, 17.431. Corey North second. How about David Williamson? Seminary, Mississippi's David Williamson, third quick in that flight, 17.485. Top 3 come out of that flight of cars. So we have picked up the pace just a little. With one more group of cars to close out, I think Group C. First one of those, that's going to be Derek Stewart out of Ainsworth, Iowa, the Ingram Capital. SCCS, M&S Concrete, Penske Racing Shocks, number 25. He'll be the first car in this group. Behind him, Jared Delk. He comes out of Jamestown, Tennessee, the Randall Harris Longhorn. Delk Equipment, Dead Broke Cattle Company, Valley's Resources, All County Title and Insurances, 118. Behind him in the G4 out of Union, South Carolina, the Hinder Powered Train, Badger Rental Services, Harness and Suspension, built south. G4, the Sherling Motorsports, Trent Ivy. Trent Ivy in the G4. There's the 2, that'll be Terry Poore. He's out of Seymour, Tennessee, the DJ Performance Savage, Star Chevrolet, Cherokee Towing, Maryland Fence, Rogers Petroleum, J. Clark Racing, Bodies by Skinny, number 2. And the K7 of Keaton Smith. Out of Clinton, South Carolina, the Hendrick Racing Engine Longhorn by Wesley Page, AFTR Motorsports, Kennedy Excavating, 8 Ridge Hydrocrows, Veteran Land Management, K7 of Keaton Smith. Jared Delp, 5th quick overall. That's fastest in this group, 17.572. And there you see the 33. That is one of our newer entries. 33 squeezing in. I think that's Gavin Johnson, and it is. So the 33G of Gavin out of Orlando, Florida, the Race 1 Rocket. Trueform Race Products, number 33. So Kel Green, Jake Rainey, and Jody Knowles were the 3 that I did not have a time. Looks like Jody is actually waiting in the staging. We'll see if he gets a solo run. Bubba rolling right now, 17.431. That's a top of Group C qualifying. Corey North, David Williamson, Nick Johnson, Jared Delp, your top 5. It will be a solo for Jody Knowles. Picked up his first career national win a year ago. He did that at Penton. He's out of Tyrone, Georgia. The Performance Race Engine Rocket, Clayton Signs, Gentry Recycling, Knowles Trucking, DJ's Racing Solutions, Sweet Victory Apparel, number 66. .33 previous Winter Shootout Series starts for Jody Knowles. 17.431, that's the pole right now. White flag for Knowles, 17th fastest, 17.918. So we'll see what Jody can do on his final chance down into turns 3 and 4 here at Volusia Speedway Park. Coming right into your living room off turn 4, and Jody, lap number 2 for him is quicker. How about 5th fastest, 17.542, and Jody Knowles jumps from outside of the top 15 into the top 5. That's going to have him inside row number 3 for the 3rd feature tonight. So a big pickup for the driver from Tyrone, Georgia. Best Winter Shootout Series finish for him was 4th at Talladega back in 2022. So he'll have a chance to improve that tonight. So Bubba rolling, and Corey North will lead feature number 3 to green, and then we were down to one final qualifying group D. And of course those World of Outlaw late model heat races coming up. Derek Bennett out of Jacksonville, Florida. He will be the first of the cars to roll out onto the racetrack. Behind him in the 54, that will be Tuck Trantham. Tuck Trantham out of DeLand, Florida, will be the car that follows him. That's the red number 54. Behind him, Jimmy Thomas, a 2-time National Tour champion out of Phoenix City, Alabama, piloting the Patrick Michelle USA 1, the J. Dickens Scorpion, Sugar Lane Garden Solar Minerals, Scorpion Race Cars, Vic Jr. Trucking USA 1. And there you see Corey Neal Jr. out of Bridge City, Texas, the wall-to-wall racing engine rocket, Curtis & Son Company's first-class septic, Kaiser Manufacturing, Sandwell Incorporated, Turbo Enterprises, number 7. New wrap for Corey this weekend. That is a sharp-looking race car. And there is A.J. Miller out of Fultonville, New York, the GM-powered rocket, SRI Performance, M2 Metal, Bill Lake Modular Home, Swift Springs, the Northeast Modified Sportsman driver, making the trip from New York down here to play in the dirt. Jimmy Thomas, 17.460 right now. That's fastest. We'll see if it stays true. Everybody will filter through their second lap. There you see the USA 1. Corey Neal Jr., second fastest, 17.606. Second lap for everybody but Jimmy was quicker, but Jimmy's first lap was good enough to put him on the top of the pole. 17.460 for Jimmy. A driver that has 15 career Winter Shootout Series starts 3 times. He's went to victory lane. Most recently, 1 year ago in the Ice Bowl at Talladega. Next up, Tim Dameron. Out of Oneida, Tennessee, the Phantom-powered CVR, Tommy's Motorsports, Oneida Paint and Body, Papa's Quick Stop, PPM Racing Products, number 23. Be the first car out of this next group. Behind him should be the 47. It'll be Ryan West out of Canton, Georgia, the EO-powered rocket, Reed & Reed, Lumpkin Hose, Forsyth Grading, the 2025 North Georgia Track Champion, the 47. He'll make his way out onto the racetrack. There you see the 1A, that'll be David Showers Jr. out of St. Augustine, Florida, the 8-star powered Longhorn, Allen Plumbing, Sizemore Electrical, Action Graphics, starting over Animal Refuge, 1A of David Showers Jr. And the 14, I believe that's Jake Whitehead. It is. Jake Whitehead, another East Tennessee driver making the trip. And the Phantom-powered CVR, David Ramey and Sons Excavating, Atlas Well Drilling, Olds Neighborhood Services, Atlas Builders. 2022 is 4th in the topless outlaw points. There's Logan Bradford out of Huntsville, Alabama, the Ingram-powered Rocket, Bradford Wrecker Services, Sureflow Plumbing and Drain, Arnold Salvage is number 67 for the Rocket City Kid. 3rd fastest right now for Bradford on the speed charts. And there's Austin Lehman out of Lithia, Florida, the Carl Customs Kryptonite All Gas Pros, ARL Motorsports, Kopka & Son Fabrication, number 28. Fastest in that flight of cars, Logan Bradford, he was 3rd fastest. Derek Bennett was 4th. Ryan West was 5th. So 10 cars officially taking time here in our final qualifying effort. Next group. Mikey Kopka out of Astor, Florida, the H&R-powered Rocket XR1 Benny's Racing Equipment, Kopka & Son Fabrication, number 96. He'll be the first car to take time, and I looked ahead of myself. David Showers Jr. will be behind him. There you see David. Out of St. Augustine, Florida, the H&R Longhorn, Allen Plumbing, Sizemore Electrical, Action Graphics, number 1. He will be in this group. There's Rye Falk. He is a former prelim winner here back in 2023. The Dublin, Georgia driver, the 441 Speed Machine Longhorn, Roland Machinery, O'Neill Electrical, Grimsley Power Washing, number 4. And there is the 16A. That is Austin Gonzalez out of Temple, Georgia, the Henry-powered Longhorn, America Roofing, H&H Racing, CNS, Southern Ridge, number 16 for Gonzalez. And the 4, that is 4-car of Trey Davis. Trey, another driver following us on the tour out of Alma, Georgia, the H&R Racing Engine Longhorn, Davis Blueberry Plantation, Main Street Bottle Shop, Renegade All Things Blueberries, Nathan's Pro Detailing, number 4. Fastest coming out of that group, Gonzalez, 6th overall, 17.983. Mikey Kopka was 8th fastest, 18.133, with David Showers was 9th quick overall. I believe we'll see Clay Harris make his way to the racing surface out of Jupiter, Florida, the H&R Rocket, Wilkerson Farms, Impact Electrical, University Cabin Systems, Boswell Oil Growers, Irrigations, VP Racing Fuels, number 6 for the Shark. He'll be the first car out of this group. Behind him in the 44 of Lincoln, North Carolina, the Henry-powered Racing Engine Rocket, Blue Ridge Truck Services, RBR Fabrication, Race Cars and Parts, Suntan Magic, Bennett Built Diesel Performance, the Chuck Melton owned number 44, that's John Ruggiero Jr. John Ruggiero Jr. in the 44. There's the 97, it's Ty Giles at Norman Park, Georgia, the Earl Ramey Factory 97, J&M Engine Transport and Refrigeration, Penske Racing Shocks, Race Car Engineering, number 97. The Cody Overton owned machine. There is Colton Herbert out of Lucas Grove, Georgia, the current racing engine, Longhorn, Fibrax Racing, Fibrax Aviation, Extreme Towing and Recovering, Love Park Scuba, Kylo Aviation, Herbert Graphics, number 611, tied for 2nd in the points coming in this weekend alongside of Michael Page. And the 30, that will be Curtis Glover. He was the fastest overall qualifier here 1 year ago. The driver to Knoxville, Iowa, the Carl Customs Infinity, Carl's Chevrolet, Alan Siemel Scuttering, Fertilizer Equipment Specialist, Dynamic Drive Lines, number 30. Colton Herbert, 2nd fastest, 17.500. Ty Giles up to 4th, and John Ruggiero Jr. 5th. Not too shabby for that flight of cars. And I would think we might send the rest of the field to finish out our qualifying. Nevin Gaining, he's going to be in the 15 out of Fort White, Florida, the H&R Kryptonite, Ellis Environmental, Bledsoe Marine Services, Tri-County Contracting, number 15. Behind him in the 18, he was with us last year, his Rookie of the Year campaign on the national tour. Out of Blackshear, Georgia, the Rocket Chassis top up. And we got one that creeped out of the pit road, and that's not going to do very well. Let's talk about Austin Yarborough. The Rouse Racing Rocket, Top Shelf Trailers, a TAC auction. Hardcoat Grade Divisions, DNS Site Work, Sullivan Marine Trucking, Mac 44 Trucking, number 18. It looks like possibly that 32 of Kimber Crooms looking just to simply get some help. There's the 58. That's Trent McLeod out of Baker, Florida, the CET-powered Longhorn, Riles Grassing, McLeod Lawn Care, Winston Beasley Pest Control, Speedy's Fast Design, CH Enterprises, calling T-Baby, 9th in the points a year ago in his rookie season in the national tour. And the final qualifier Oh, never mind. Next to last qualifier. That'll be the 59. I believe that will be the 59C of Brandon Cato out of St. Augustine, Florida. Yeah. That'll be the 59 as we start to see this final group pick up the pace for their qualifying effort. The time to beat right now at the top is a 17.460. That's the top overall time. We'll see if anybody can get close to that in this final group. Austin Yarborough, 17.850. That's 10th fastest right now. There you see Kimber in the 32K as the checkered flag will come out. And the checkered flag will fly on this group. Everybody will cross the stripe, and just like that, 102 cars later, we have wrapped up qualifying for the My Race Pass Fantasy Racing Hot Laps, and the fastest overall time at a 17.162 will go the driver out of Lynchburg, Virginia. First car to hit the racetrack, and he goes fastest overall time, so Justin Williams will lead feature number 1 to green. Just like that, we'll clear out the infield as we will get ready for the World of Outlaw late model heat races coming up. We will step aside. You're watching the Dirt Car Sunshine Nationals on DIRTVision here from Volusia Speedway Park.